We're listening to Downton Abbey right
I
now.
love Downton Abbey.
It's on.
I haven't started it yet.
You don't watch the
addictive.
Downton Abbey?
I do not.
How dare you?
My husband hates me for it.
Hmm.
Can you hear me? Can anyone hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you, but you can't hear us.
No, I can't.
Yeah, it's a
Oh, there you go, the hair.
Yeah.
That's right. See,
Cute.
I don't think about things like that.
No.
He should have had these.
Ew, he doesn't want your ear juice.
Well, he should have had these type of.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, Crystal just brought up the Downton Abbey. It's I put this on there as an afterthought, and then I've had most of the people like, oh, yes.
Yes. It's fine music for a fine show. I'm not even going to do an intro. I think like the last 30 seconds has been like the start of the show. That's how good it is. We're here on a Friday night at Gods and Monsters. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Friday night is game night. However, I got to say, every night is going to be game night here. Is that correct, Mouse?
Yeah. Well, every night is not going to have a tournament. We're going to keep the tournaments Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Right.
But open gaming is welcome every night.
Well, I might as well start off on that end. We have Mouse over there. My friend Greg Moan is here with us again, as he was at the grand opening. Queen Q is here. She was very busy at the grand opening. She wasn't able to sit with us, but welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And by the way, I'm not calling it the Gods and Monsters show or the Gods and Monsters web show. I think we're just Gods and Monsters.
Okay.
People come up to the door and they see the sign, Gods and Monsters. They go to the website, they see the show, it's Gods and Monsters. Keep the brand intact.
Branding.
Yeah.
Branding.
Yes, it's all about the branding, yes. You want to tell us a little bit, Mouse, about your plans for the mural that's going to go up in the front corner over there. That's one of the last few pieces of wall that has not been completed here. That's the last piece to go up. It's not up now, but tell us what your plans are for that.
Well, it's about 90% done. It's a giant piece with pretty much a cartoon version of as many pop culture characters and icons that I can conceive of that I like.
Right.
I've thrown a couple that I don't like as well in there, but because they're popular.
For balance, yeah, fair and balanced. Very good.
But I threw some barbs in there as well. Like I have Unicron, which is my favorite Transformer in there, but
Yes.
he's eating the Death Star because I don't like Star Wars movies.
Oh.
That's great.
And that's the end of this podcast. No, show. No, web show. I don't know. Web show, podcast, but
I like Star Wars.
yes.
I don't like any of the movies.
Right.
I like books.
He
I
only
like-
likes the screenplays.
I like the Clone Wars was amazing. I like many of the games, but I can't. George Lucas is not a good director.
Many of the games. Now that you brought that up, I've seen the trailer, like the 5-minute trailer for Battlefront.
Oh, that's going to be amazing.
That looks incredible. Have you seen the trailer for that? Where it's just
I
it's
have.
on Hoth, and they show like it looks like a 4-on-4 campaign, and the camera just cuts from stormtrooper to rebel fighter to shooting from the point of view of the AT-AT to being up in one of the ships flying around.
But is that in-game footage or is that pre-rendered?
No,
kind of?
it says at the slate up the front that this is actual footage from the game.
Okay.
But that is also, it can be in-game rendered and not in-game play. So it may be rendered with the engine that runs the play of the game, but it might not look as good when you're actually playing in
I
real
see.
time.
Like the Arkham series, you have like 2 levels of animation in there. You have like the little cutscenes, which is still done with the engine, but it's different than when you're actually playing the game. You have a different level of graphic level in there. But I have seen it and it looks pretty amazing.
One of the things we'll be talking on the show here a lot about will be games. We want to do game reviews. We want to do toy reviews. We want to talk about items that come into the store. If you want to give us an example of this item here that came into the store not too long ago, Mouse.
That is a hot toy from our Jason Groski. Did I pronounce that right?
Gorski.
Gorski collection. He brought in so is the Metroplex that's on my left here. He brought in just an amazing collection of Hot Toys and Transformers that the likes that I've literally never seen before.
If you're a fan of, what was his name again?
Jason
Jason
Gorski.
Gorski.
If you're a fan of the type of toys that he likes, his will all have the green price tag with the little circle on
They
it.
all
He's
have
got
the
an
green
impressive
dots.
collection. If you go through the store here now, there's a lot of little green stickers here. He's trying to sell off a lot of his stuff.
He's selling off about 90% of his collection.
Ooh.
He only kept a very small amount. And there's even, 5 Iron Man Hot Toys here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He still has like 13 or 14 at his house.
So if you're interested in hot toys, you should come down here to the store now because these are, I'm staring at this Christopher Reeve, and it is him. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah. They all the Loki looks just like Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah,
It's-
there's
it's
a Loki.
incredible.
You look into the eyes of the Loki doll. It's very, very
I
intense.
guess you can get into their heads and switch around
their facial
expressions.
expressions. Can you believe you can do that? That is a hot toy.
Yes.
So that's just one person who came in here. Can you think of anything else recently that's come in here that's for sale? That's coming from a seller?
No, his is pretty much the big news that we've had come in for the last week. That's what we've been focusing on. Spider's been going over to his house and helping him collect all of the stuff and catalog it and everything.
Has he had any hits yet? Any offers on any of the stuff that's come in, or is it too
Actually,
soon?
we just sold 3 of the hot toys today.
See, that's
Damn,
another reason that you
that's
should
great.
be down here to look at these hot
And-
toys now before they go.
We sold Thor, the Iron Man that has a really shiny shield. I'm not sure which version of it.
Right.
We had 2 of them. And then we had a gold version of Iron Man, one of the
Okay.
Iron Man suits, and those are the 3 that sold.
Is it okay to say like what the price is here if I was to read the price
yeah.
tag? So he's selling the Christopher Reeve Superman flying from the Fortress of Solitude. It looks like it's selling for $320. It is a fantastic. I love just visually. I love looking at
That's
it.
a piece of art. I mean,
Yes.
for
Oh,
yeah.
for 320, that's
I
kind
would-
of a steal.
I'd put that on the dashboard of my car. No, I'd put that on the hood of my car. That just
Essentially, the hot toy stuff are posable statues. Like,
Yeah.
we have all of the statues here that are really expensive, but the hot toys are those that you can pose in whatever you want them to do,
and
essentially.
I gotta say, if you haven't been here since the grand opening, the store has changed a lot. It's filled out in some rows, and you've added some sections up front
Oh, yeah.
that just weren't there before. So you
Yeah.
filled out quite a bit.
And it's going to keep happening. We've also started carrying the single issue comics now, finally. So we're
One of
getting
the
those
many
in
requests
regular.
made on
Yes.
Facebook from viewers. Yes.
And our gaming section has grown exponentially.
Excellent.
So.
Well, Mason is here. Is there anything you want to add before we have you
no, I'll
send
pass
off
it
there?
over to Mason so he can talk about our events and stuff.
All right, that's Mouse. If you don't know where he is, come to the back of the store. He's usually back on the DJ booth here every single day. Thank you.
loud in there.
What's that?
It's really loud in
Oh, you should have mentioned that before. I could have turned that down. Mason, I'm going to put on your headset, and I want you to say hello to us, and we'll see how loud that is. Oh, you know what? That volume is really loud. Does that sound loud to you?
No, it sounds all right.
All right, I'll leave it right where it is.
I had it loud because I can't hear.
Oh, you couldn't
crap.
hear a thing. Well, Mason, we didn't get a chance to sit and talk with you during the grand opening, so scoot up just a little bit, just in case the Transformer's not blocking your shot. We don't want it to block. Let us know who you are and what your job title is here.
All right, cool. I'm Mason. I'm in charge of all the evening events we do, like the Magic and board games and stuff like that. And then I'm also the one who's trying to come up with all the ideas for some of our after-hour events that we're going to be running as well.
And the after-hour events, I know that once the doors close, the front doors here, that's 9 p.m.
Yes.
We have the side door here for anybody
do.
that didn't see that at the grand opening. What does that side door allow you to do?
Basically, hopefully sometime soon we'll have our beer and wine license for a bar that we have here at the
Yes.
location. We're going to do a bunch of 18 and up after-hour events.
Yes.
Which we're looking forward to, which will be like trivia nights, karaoke. By the way, karaoke will be first song you sing of the night, we will get a free beer.
Nice.
We're going to be doing a bunch of stuff like that, so we're looking forward to it.
I'd love to see, now that I've heard that it's kind of coming back again, speaking about games and toys, Garage Band and Rock Band is going to start to make a comeback now.
Yeah.
It'd be great to see that up on the giant monitor
That would be cool.
and give somebody a little preview monitor in front on the television so they could see their lyrics, give them a mic stand and have a band come up with a little battle of the bands type thing. I would love to see that. I've gone to a few parties with just friends who do that, and it's hours of fun. It really is. It sounds like we just did a commercial. It's hours of fun. Garage Band, Rock Band, now available on PlayStation 4. But one of the main things you said here is the gaming, and tonight is the first Friday night of Magic the Gathering. We're
Yes.
here kind of early. We're expecting more people a little bit later.
Fingers
but
crossed.
tell us, unless you need this here in front of you, you want to let us know, okay, you got what to expect tonight, which
All right.
games, and then kind of give us a rundown through each day on what games to expect, and the people that are watching when we put this up on YouTube know which nights their events will be up there.
All right, cool. Well, tonight is everyone knows that on Friday you play Magic. So tonight we'll be having Magic. I think we also have Yu-Gi-Oh! And maybe one or two other games. Off the top of my head, I can't remember because I actually just worked on a new schedule,
Okay.
which this will be the first announcement of, which we'll be going with going forward.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically Thursday is going to start being our anime day. Any trading card game that's anime based will be here on our Thursday. So
Oh,
that's
very good.
Weiss Warts, the new game Force of Will, the new Dragon Ball Z game, trading card game that just came out, which is a lot of fun. We'll also be playing animes on all the TV screens and movies on our big projector on Thursday.
The Dragon Ball's been very popular of late, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. It does a really good job of mimicking the combat that you see in the anime in the cards.
Queen
So-
Q, you said you were trying to get into some of these games, or any of them in particular? particular that you see on the schedule that you've gotten into?
I'm really interested in getting into tabletop gaming. I've done a couple of campaigns of Dungeons and Dragons. Well, it almost come out like Drunkens and Dragons.
That's fine.
But
That's a game too.
I might play that.
yeah, I think I might be good for a round of that. But basically, I'm going to start off by coming in weekly and trying to start up a game of anything that starts off small, anything that takes about an hour or two to accomplish, because I know Dungeons and Dragons is really intensive, and then I'm going to jump into something like it. And I really want people to come down and play with me and show me how to play them too, because my gaming expertise is all video games.
Right.
So.
And
that's gonna be
I'm
fun.
sure you'd like to have more of the new people that are new to the games. Like
Oh,
she
for
wants to
sure.
get into the 1 or 2 hour games. I'm sure you'd like to have some of the people here who aren't familiar with it come join you and you could teach them.
Oh yeah, for sure. Actually, one of the things we're doing Saturdays going forward. Saturdays is going to be our RPG and board game day. We'll have 1 or 2 other things going on, but by RPG I mean D&D, Pathfinder, Star Wars, Firefly, Warhammer, all the RPGs. We'll be running those on Saturdays. And there's actually a group called the Florida Pathfinder Alliance. Pathfinder is very similar to D&D. I work very closely with those guys, and they're helping us build a huge community, including a community for newcomers and people that want to get into role-playing games, because I play them a lot myself, and I actually got my girlfriend into them, and they're a lot of fun. You can meet some cool people.
I wasn't familiar that they did one for Firefly. Oh,
Yeah.
loved that
Oh,
show.
yeah.
Is that a popular one, or is that?
It does pretty well. It does a really good job of bringing you into the verse, and they have character sheets for all the characters from the TV show, so you can integrate those people into your game as well.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right, so you want to continue with the days of the week where we left off at?
Yeah, sure, man. Again, Friday is always going to be F&M. We'll have Hero Clicks. That's a really fun tabletop game where you can have superheroes and comic book characters, superheroes, movie characters, all integrated in the same tabletop game, and they fight each other. We have Yu-Gi-Oh! And we also have All Night EDH, which is a Magic format, EDH pods, and Magic drafts as well.
Can you give us a little more of a description of that, exactly what that is? I'm not familiar with that either.
Which
the
one?
EDH?
Yeah, sure. EDH is it's also known as Commander. It's a Magic format where you have a 100-card deck,
Okay.
but everything in your deck has to be one of a kind. You can only have one of any type of creature or spell in your deck, and you play a 4-way free-for-all format.
How long does a game like that
A
normally
game
last?
like that normally has, if you quit, 45 minutes, but on average about an hour and a
Oh,
half.
that's perfect. That's
Really?
very good.
That's interesting that you can only have one of each type. I wonder what that does for the gameplay. Does it keep it balanced?
It can make it can. It depends what colors you play. It can
Yeah.
it can get a little crazy, but it's one of the fun things, especially with it being a 4-person free for all.
Yeah.
People can go for after whoever they want to, and it also brings in table politics and
I
a
like
whole new
that.
way to play.
I'd love to find a way to incorporate these people playing these games at the tables into some sort of live web show where people can, I don't know, place bets on an individual person and say, I'm looking for this guy to win, and then the camera's up for that 45 minutes to an hour and see who actually the winner is and keep some sort of tally, some sort of score. I'm just trying to find a way to keep the web involved with this. But go on ahead with with the days of the week.
And then Saturday, we're actually doing Saturday morning cartoons. They no longer air those anymore, which
Right.
is terrible.
That sounds
I
fun.
mean, there's a little different to me because I'm from the UK, so we have Sunday morning cartoons, but I
Oh.
gather they're the same thing. But yeah, we're going to start doing our own Saturday morning cartoons here on the projector screen. Pajamas are more than welcome.
Excellent.
We're going to try and get some of the staff involved in that. Should be a good laugh.
Are you going to be doing like the classic Saturday morning
Yes.
cartoons from the 80s and such?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to be doing all the classics. Some of
awesome.
the newer stuff too, because they're a good laugh as well. But a lot of the classic stuff. This if you couldn't tell, if you guys know who Todd is. Todd
Yes.
was the one who came up with this.
Excellent idea. That'll be great Saturday mornings here.
When
Yeah.
does that start? Do you know? 'Cause
This going forward should be about mid-July.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
So maybe
sometime
not
in the next
next
week.
Saturday, but the Saturday after.
Yes.
Yeah,
We'll
I'll
keep-
be there.
We'll keep people posted through these shows that we're doing.
Will you be in your pajamas?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's such a great idea. I got so many different pajamas I haven't worn in public.
That's the best part.
Right.
That's saying you've worn some of your pajamas in public.
And
I'm sorry.
go ahead. So that's Saturday morning.
That's Saturday morning. We also have Dice Masters, which is again, it's made by the same people that do Hero Clicks. It's a very fast, very easy game to get into. Booster packs are $1. You can't find any game that's like that these
That's
days.
very good.
We also have Pokemon that day. The Pokemon community has got huge. Pokemon has definitely come back, and we'll be playing those. RPGs, like I said earlier, but we'll also be having board game nights that night. which is you can bring your own board games, you can use our board games we have here, all that type of stuff.
Yeah, there's a section over here. There's a couple of shelves of just board games, and I remember Anna saying even before the grand opening, people were just dropping games off and just
Yeah.
leaving them there. My girls and I, we thought we'd drop our own little personal Easter egg there and check it years later. We brought the Dora the Explorer memory game, and we've left it up there
Nice.
for anybody that wants to put all the cards down and just play memory, because we weren't exactly using it anymore. So yes, you want to bring old games down here and just drop them off, they're more than happy to take them.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so that's Pokemon on Sunday.
Yep, and then like I said, so board games. We also have casual Magic that day. So if you want to play Magic, we don't want to play competitively. You can come in on a Saturday, just sit down and play with your friends, meet other people and play, as well as having all-day drafts as well for the Magic.
Very good.
Yep, and then last but not least, we have Sunday. Sunday is all big army-based games. We have Warhammer starting off the day, and then later in that day, we have the Star Wars and the Star Trek tabletop deck day. Hopefully those groups can play in the same place and get along just fine. I think they can, but we'll see what happens.
Are there any kind of Star Trek games? I know that they have the Star Wars.
Yeah.
Do you see anything for Star
Yeah,
Trek?
the Star Trek game is very similar to the Star Wars game. You have different ships on top, but instead of just having pilots, you build a whole fleet for the ship. You can put different type of torpedoes and everything on them. It's a lot of fun.
So it sounds like you've got something planned for every day of the week.
I'm trying.
And for myself, I'm excited to hear about Star Wars X-Wing and Star Trek Attack Wing. I know very little about that, but I want to learn more about it because I love Star Wars and Star Trek very much, but I haven't gotten into the gaming aspect of it. It's pretty popular.
Oh yeah, for sure. I play both myself. The cool thing is you don't need a lot of ships. You only need 2 or 3 ships, and if you love the franchise, they do a really good job of digging all those ships out that aren't just in the movies, that are from the novels and from the video games that no one ever played because they came out on the PC in the 90s.
Right. Now, when the kids
fun.
come here to play the card games, are they mostly 4 players, or does it go to 2 or 3?
The card games?
Yeah.
Most of the card games is 1 versus 1, so they're 2 people.
Okay.
But most of this is going to be tournament format. So
Right.
we'll have number of players equals number of rounds, and we're going to be doing a really nice amount of price support for those events as well.
Yeah, can you explain some of that when it comes to the pricing? I'm unfamiliar with if people want to come here to play these games. Is there a fee that they are charged for playing games here? How does that work?
Yeah, normally the fee to enter is just about the same price as it would be to buy two booster packs.
Okay.
The reason for that is because for every person that enters a tournament, 2 booster packs go into the prize pool.
Okay.
So at the end of the event, the top 4 or top 8 players, depending on how many people enter the tournament, split or can play out, because most people like to play out because they want the more packs for the packs in the prize pool.
Like a winner take all.
Yeah, it'll get to a point where you could be in a situation where all 8 players are guaranteed 5 packs each, but if one of those 8 people want to go, no, I want more packs, and all 8 people have to play out, and if you lose, you might only end up with 2 packs.
2, okay.
Yeah.
I like the idea of that. All right, so you've covered all the different days of the week here. If you have some time, I know you're busy, give us a little bit about your background, where you came from before you started working here at Gods and Monsters.
Yeah, sure. I'm, as I said earlier, I'm from the UK, and this stuff is next to impossible to find over there. So
Really?
I was kind of, I grew up, I kid you not, on Judge Dredd and World War II comics. 'Cause
Really?
I wanted to get into them, and that's what my grandfather bought for me.
World War II comics,
World
really?
War II comics, yeah. They're based on different troops in the trenches and what they do at the time. So a little different from Spider-Man and Superman.
So you possibly have a unique comic book collection of your own
Yeah,
that
not-
not many people see?
Yeah, not to be too stereotypical, but the original Captain Britain run from the 1970s, I have the complete set of. It was when comics books were black and white, and it was one of
Right.
the only ones over there at the time.
Very rare then here in the States, I imagine. Not a
Yeah.
lot of people are going to see that here.
Yeah, but the rest of my background is I'm really big into board games. The company I worked for prior, I used to go to cons exclusively to meet people about board games and play board games. And I'm really big into Star Wars. Star Wars is huge. I have a
Yes.
Darth Maul tribal tattoo on my chest going down my back as well. Star Wars is my fandom.
Wow. Did you see Star Wars in the theater growing up when you lived over in the UK?
What's funny about that is the very first time I watched Star Wars was when it was re-released in the cinema in the early 90s.
Yeah,
and I
the
watched-
special editions.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes, we're sorry. You didn't get to see it when it originally came
Well,
out.
no, I lived in the middle of nowhere in England, like
Right.
some countryside somewhere. And this was a guy who had the original reel of the film, and I was maybe 5 years old, and my mom was like, hey, we're going to go introduce you to Star Wars. And
Wow.
I watched Empire Strikes Back, the very first time on that screen, I was hooked straight away. And it was the original, because I remember to this day thinking at the time, even being a kid, that this didn't look as nice as some of the movies I watched.
Now, when the special editions came out, for most people, even for kids, they all knew the big secret in Empire Strikes Back.
Yes.
Were you aware of the big secret when it happened?
No, I was far too young. I hadn't even been told about Star Wars. It was one of
Okay.
those things where it's like £2, which is dollars, £2 movie night. Go down to the movie theater. I watched this movie, and it was to me like watching it when it first came out for the first time.
So were you able to continue on and see Return of the Jedi in the theater also when it was re-released?
Oh yeah, I was that nerd growing up that no matter what edition they brought out, when they brought out, the special edition, the slightly different VHS box, I bought it. I got all that stuff. Yeah.
So, and what year did you move over here to the United States?
I've moved over here probably 3 times.
Oh, there and back a few times.
Yeah, I lived in England, lived in France, and then I came over here because my mum's originally from Ohio, funnily enough. Moved back to the UK for a short while, got done with university over there, and then came back over here.
So the first time you came over here and got a job, what was the first job you had here?
You won't believe me, but you finished high school earlier in the UK at 16. I was 16 when I first moved over here. Very first job was being the coach for a high school soccer team, girls soccer team, and I was the JV assistant coach, and I was coaching girls my age and slightly older than
See,
me.
he had the accent, so they just assumed he could play soccer, and they just gave him the job, right?
Yeah.
Well,
That was my very first job, was an assistant coach for a high school.
You poor guy. That must have been like the worst
terrible.
job ever.
It was
That's
awful. All
terrible.
the stretching, it was terrible.
Oh yeah.
So after you left your soccer job, or did you move on to, I just want to make guesses, like you moved on to work at a movie theater or a comic book store or anything like that?
Actually, after that job, I went for a while, not doing too much, but then I met Todd at the comic book store he was working at
Right.
the time. And I worked with Todd for a few years. Todd and I have known each other for a good while now.
I did not realize you'd worked there for a while. Okay, because
Yeah.
I know the store you're referring to. Most of us do that are watching here, or if you're friends with Todd, you know that store.
Yeah.
And then when he decided he wanted to start his own place, you thought,
Yeah, he hit me up. I remember getting in the car with him and Anna, and the moment he said, Anna and I are thinking of opening our own store, he didn't say anything else. I was like, I'm in.
Right.
You guys need me no matter where I'm working at the time. This is what I'm good at. I will quit and I will come work for you guys.
and at the time they asked you or they told you that, they probably didn't even know about this place yet.
Oh, no,
I
this-
know they'd shopped around. We talked about this before on one of the podcasts, that they were looking over at the Oviedo Mall for a while.
Yeah.
And then that kind of didn't work out, and then this kind of just fell right into place for them. What was your impression the first time you walked into this big, giant, empty building?
I was a little scared.
Yeah.
I walked in. I was like, this place is huge. Like, I don't know. Like, I can't imagine. And I slowly came in through the development, and this place turned into something amazing.
Yeah.
It is definitely somewhere for all nerd and geeks to go, and I'm glad that I could work here because we at least get 2 or 3 people every day wanting to work here. So I feel very
Right.
fortunate in that I do.
Well, not only when it comes to gaming, but what else are you looking forward to here in the next few months?
The next few months, some of our big special events. We haven't got anything solidified yet.
Right.
But I also have a hand in some of our special events. We're trying to do a bunch of stuff, especially in October, with it being Halloween and with the Back
Yes.
to the Future date coming
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, I heard Todd's working on getting the DeLorean here
Yeah,
for
we're-
the Back to the Future date.
That's
Yeah.
October 12th, right?
October,
21st?
I can't remember.
Oh,
I know
you
it's
know what?
crap. I thought it
think
was
you're right. I
the
think it's
15th.
20.
October 2015 is all I know. I can't
Is
remember
it-
the exact
is
date.
I think it is the 21st. It's the 21st.
This is
You're right.
that thing that if I say the wrong date,
Right.
I'm not going to have any more nerd cred.
That's right.
It's
That's
terrible.
right. But he's working on getting a DeLorean here. That's
Yes.
that's a maybe, but
We're-
he's working on that.
Yeah, we're actually also trying to work with the Michael J. Fox Foundation,
Right.
and making it a whole event. We want to do we want to do some 80s stuff, so Ghostbusters and
Sure.
everything else. Yeah.
Sure, sure,
Yeah,
sure.
the guy who does the DeLoreans, I actually know him. He's a sweetheart, and it's his passion to
Yeah.
make DeLoreans, and he builds them in his garage, and he takes custom orders and ships them around the world. And
It just didn't work out that he could be here for the grand opening, I recall.
Yeah.
So him
Yeah.
being here for the anniversary would be great.
oh, it's gonna be awesome, and he's just the biggest sweetheart, and he does a really solid Marty impression.
Oh, he
Really?
does.
Yeah, he even he met what's his face?
Michael J. Fox?
No, not Michael J. Fox. Doc Brown, the original actor. Come on,
Christopher Lloyd.
There you go, Christopher Lloyd. There's a video on his Facebook of him meeting Christopher Lloyd and doing a
Doing the
Marty
impression?
impression,
Oh,
and
that's
Christopher
awesome.
Lloyd is just floored.
No, we would love to meet him.
Yeah.
We'd love to have him bring the DeLorean here. And I would love to see them get the DeLorean in this, not just this store, get it in the mall. I want to see that
Oh,
day
yeah.
because it's got to come from the far side where they've got the big double doors. So I'd
they
like to
could
be
remake.
here.
They could remake Blues Brothers.
Right, just crash through the mall. Or if he just could get it up to 88 miles an hour, he could just have it come in here
That'd be
and just
insane.
appear. So that's Halloween.
That is
And
Halloween.
I'd asked Todd this before. What kind of plans, since you're a huge Star Wars fan, December?
We are working on some really ambitious stuff.
Yeah.
We wanna make this place look 5 times as amazing as it does now, specifically just for that one thing. Like, we want to do something insane. Luckily enough, we're in a mall that has a really nice movie theater.
Yes.
I'm constantly trying to talk to that guy about doing something.
Some sort of cross-promotional
Yeah.
something or other.
Luckily, we are really good friends with the 501st here in Florida.
Yes.
So we want to do something huge with them. We want this place to literally be like a mini Star Wars
It'd
con.
be great to have the 501st just march everybody over straight to the movie theater from
Yeah.
here and just all go into the theater at the same time. I don't believe we saw them at the grand opening. I think the scheduling didn't work out, that they weren't able to be here for that, so I'm definitely hoping we'll see them here in December. And I'm sure at the very least we'll be having marathons of the other movies here.
Yes. I don't think that projector's going to turn off. I think we're just going to constantly loop the original 3, and every now and then we might have a slip up and the new ones will show up.
Right,
But
right.
but mostly the originals.
Please don't.
I was hearing news this week that, this is good, we can talk about news and topic events and have it be current, about them discussions for the Han Solo movie, and the director of that film is going to look like the 2 guys who directed the Lego movie, and they're going to be directing the origin story for Han Solo. So now the talk has begun. Who plays Han Solo? And they've already thrown Chris Pratt's name out there, and it's like, stop it with Chris Pratt.
No,
He's
no.
like, Chris Pratt's going to play Indiana Jones. No, stop it. Now Chris Pratt's going to play Han Solo. Stop it. But that's a tough one. I can't think off the top of my head anybody. Can you guys think of anyone who should be playing young Han Solo? And while we're at it, young Lando Calrissian.
How young are we talking?
They haven't said, but let's just say like a bratty 20-year-old maybe, and they could make a couple of movies with him. But of course, there's got to be that one scene
Jesse
where
Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg. He's
No.
playing Lex Luthor, right? Right now?
Absolutely not. I think that's terrible casting.
We'll
I'll
have-
have to see the movie.
We'll have to at least see the one great scene that we've only heard about, which is how he loses the Millennium Falcon in a poker match.
Yes.
So there's got to be a Lando in the movie, and of course someone's got to play Harrison Ford. Chewbacca can still be Chewbacca. Apparently they don't age, because the trailer I've seen for the new movie that I've only seen a second of, he hasn't even gotten any gray
No.
in him. So Chewbacca can still look like Chewbacca now.
He's a champ. He
Yeah.
doesn't age.
So we'll just have to figure out who should play Han Solo. You have any ideas, Queen Q? Who should play
Oh,
Han
I'm
Solo?
about to lose a lot of fans. I'm not a Star Wars
Here we
fan
go.
at all.
This interview's over.
Sorry. I like Star Trek, but because they're making a new Star Wars movie and you know, the theme parks are talking about doing something big, Star
Yes.
Wars related, I'm thinking about giving it a good solid chance this fall, and I'm gonna sit down and watch all the old films again.
Oh, very good.
I'm gonna try.
And as a huge Star Wars fan, do you keep up on the rumors and the gossip of what's going on over at Hollywood Studios at Disney World?
I do. It's been a little hard with this new movie coming out because I have a very strict regimen of not watching
Not watching the trailer.
I watch maybe one trailer for any movie and then go from there, and I have at least 3 or 5 things through email and Facebook feed that feed me all the info I don't want to read but I really want to
Right.
read.
I haven't watched the new trailer except for the very end of it where we see Han Solo and Chewbacca, because I used it in a commercial that I made that
Yes.
might be popping up behind us once
The one
in a
that's
while.
We're Home, right?
Right. Or all he says is "We're home," and then the logo comes up. That's all I watched of it because
Okay.
I don't want to know. Trailers are made to convince people to go see movies. I'm convinced. I don't need to go see this
Yeah.
trailer. So I know big things are coming to Hollywood Studios. They're also going to be changing the name. They should just call it Disney Studios. I still call it MGM because it was called MGM when it
Yeah.
first opened up. So we all
Yeah.
still say I'm going to MGM.
I still do
because we
it
know
too.
what that is. Might as well, and it's Disney's Hollywood Studios. Just call it Disney Studios. They haven't announced the name yet.
Well, I'm a big theme park enthusiast.
Yes.
I'm one of those nut jobs. And the rumor, there's always rumors that
Yes.
something's coming, something's going. But apparently, the big rumor is they're taking out something big from MGM. They're
Oh, yeah.
already looking at it.
If you look at the Google map, somebody made a Google map last week and put it up on the internet, and then to see all the things that they shaded out that aren't open anymore or are about to close. You know, the
Yeah.
back lot tour. What's the thing where the truck flips over and explodes?
You talking about LMA, Lights, Motors, Action? or are you
yes,
talking
yes,
about
yes.
Indiana Jones?
That's going.
Yeah, I heard that
whole
too.
back section. Remember, you could drive back around there, and it's like, there's the Golden Girls house. And,
Yep.
you know, that's all going to be gone. All that space has got to be going to Star Wars and or Marvel or X. It's got to be something like that.
I'm going to put my money on Star Wars franchise, and here's why. Because
Okay.
are you not aware of the 6-film roadmap that they just
Yeah.
recently
saw that.
released.
For
Yeah.
Star Wars?
Yes.
Well, I
Yeah,
know
it
there's
looks
7, 8,
insane.
9.
So there's 7, 8, 9, and then there's
Han
the
Solo,
Han Solo,
probably
Rogue
then-
Squadron.
and then
Rogue Squadron, Obi-Wan Kenobi,
There's
maybe?
also a Kenobi origin story.
And it sounds like that Ewan McGregor is more than ready to come back and do that.
And there's also a Boba Fett
Yes.
movie.
Which we
So-
know a little bit about his past, but to go back even farther, I wonder if it wouldn't be the same actor at this point now.
So,
would it?
so we're looking at 6 to 10 years of Star Wars franchise movies coming.
Probably we went 15 years without a movie, and
And
now
now
we're
we're
going to get
gonna
one
go-
every year or
Yeah.
every other year.
And it makes perfect sense to build this theme park around that.
Right.
Because, I think they waited almost too long to build the Harry
know.
Potter world.
Yeah.
Oh,
They were
yeah.
playing
So-
catch up at that point
Yes.
to try and catch up with everything else that was going
I
on.
don't think they realized how big it was going to truly
Well,
be.
yeah, when it came out, when Harry Potter was there and the grand opening and John Williams was there with the orchestra.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was just like Disney was like, uh-oh.
Well, yeah. Well, the theme parks took a big nasty hit after
Yeah.
2001,
Yes.
and people couldn't travel, and we were. A lot of theme parks are still feeling the effects of that even to this day.
Right.
So when they finally got Potter, you noticed like things exploded there.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Things
It was-
completely exploded, and then they were able to come up with the second section like way faster.
Oh yeah, the money came in so quick. It was like, no
Yeah.
problem, we're going to do this again. It's like when a movie comes out and the box office for the first week it makes $100 million. It's like, we're making a sequel.
3
so
sequels.
instantly they started the expansion of Harry Potter.
And while I'm not a big Star Wars fan, I really want to see Disney do something real
Right.
big with Star
I
Wars.
want to see
Now's the time.
I want to see a Cantina bar. I want to see the Epcot ball turned into the Death Star. I want to see all kinds of cool
Oh,
things.
now
my God,
has
that
to
would be
happen.
amazing.
Wouldn't that be
insane.
amazing? Just turn it into the Death Star.
That ride's so tired and old anyway.
I know.
Oh God, I just went on it a couple days ago too. It was.
is Spaceship Earth. It used
Glad
to
I
be
had a
Walter
couple of drinks
Cronkite.
first.
Yeah, it's now, yeah.
Yeah.
So good things coming, of course, to Disney Studios. I'm going to call it that. And they own Marvel as well, so that means you got to think they're going to be doing something with that.
They've got to be doing something great, especially with all the plans they have for the TV shows and for
Yeah.
the movies. Like they're doing all the Infinity events and stuff like that. Like there's got to be something based around that. If they don't, then they're looking in the wrong way or
They're
something.
kind of gridlocked on rights. I heard that like they can't do anything over here on the East Coast, but apparently on the West Coast, like you can go and meet Thor right now. It's very little stuff that they're rolling out. I know you can meet Captain.
Interesting.
But I'm like you guys. I want to see something a little bit bigger than that. Something full blown, interactive. I want to see rides. I want
Right.
to be able to get out there and meet Tony Stark for once.
Well,
Let's-
they have
that.
on one of their cruise lines. I know that they have an Avengers event on one of their cruise lines
Yeah.
where you can become a Shield member for a day and
Oh,
meet
that's
Avengers
so cool.
people. Yeah. So
God, kids have it so good these days.
I know.
I'm still a kid, right? I can do
Absolutely.
that. Okay, good.
So, as a Star Wars fan, what kind of ride would you like to see built at Disney World?
If they made your Death Star ride and I could still take a tour on the inside,
Yes.
but instead of it being all the different events, it'd just be like kind of like a making of Star Wars inside a giant Death Star.
Right.
I think I'd ride that every day.
Absolutely. Boy, there's going to come a point where they're going to look at. They gave George Lucas $4 billion. That's going to look like a steal in a
Yeah.
couple of
Oh,
years.
yeah.
When these
Oh, yeah.
movies each
Sure.
come out, each movie makes $1 billion, and then the rides come out, and then the parks making billions. They're going to be like, "Man, we got off lucky only giving him $4 billion." That's great. Hello. That is
Well,
a happy customer.
Whatever
Okay.
they do, I've got an annual pass. I will be there. Not the first
Yeah.
day, but maybe the second or third month.
What if
when
they
it
made
calms
a,
down.
a Millennium Falcon ride?
Yes.
Sort of in the venue of the Back to the Future ride,
Right.
but you get to choose where you want to sit in the Millennium Falcon,
Oh,
so
that
you
would
can
be
go
fun.
on that ride 4 or 5 different times and have a completely different experience.
You could sit
4
there
or 5
as the
different
pilot,
times.
or
Yeah.
you can go up to the gunner maybe
Yep.
and see a whole different angle. Yeah, the Back to the Future ride had the giant screen, and I remember almost like getting vertigo the first time I went on it. I was just like, "What is this? What?" And you get lost in it. I could see getting lost into a Millennium Falcon ride for sure. Something along the lines of Soarin' or something like that. Yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Back to the Future, absolutely.
We're
It'd be-
giving them free ideas. Come on, guys.
I know.
Yeah.
You're welcome, because I'm sure they're all watching.
I just copyrighted that idea. The Millennium Falcon, that's mine.
Right.
Yeah, you can buy it though. I'll
So
sell
the
it to
Millennium
you.
Falcon idea, you like the Death Star idea.
Yeah.
You'll just be getting into Star Wars, so
Yeah.
you'll be appreciating it.
But I like anything that's interactive, anything that gets people up and participating.
I would like to see the Cantina bar. Just a simple restaurant or bar where it looks exactly like the inside of the cantina. with all the freaky creatures, with the bartender who looks like the guy from the movie, with the band playing. I mean, just make them
Playing
look
the
like
same
that.
song
Could you
over
do
Play
that
the
here?
same
Do that
song.
here.
Play the same
That
song
would
over
be
and over again.
insane.
Who
Do,
cares?
do that here for December.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
Just
that's
play
a
the
good
Cantina
idea.
Bar song just on repeat.
Just loop it. There's 2 songs. So there's 2 Cantina songs. And actually, if you look at the soundtrack, it's just called Cantina Song Number 1 and Number 2. So just do 1 and 2 and hit repeat. We'll get Mouse on that. We'll just loop those 2
That's
songs.
Beer and wine going. We'll have a blast.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Well, that's good. So you've got lots of gaming that you're involved
Lots,
with here with the company. Is there anything else that you do for Gods and Monsters other than the gaming, or is that what you're mostly focused
I
on
do
right
that
now?
mostly. My official title is also floor manager. I try and interact with as many people as I can. I want to make sure that everything we're doing here is something that people want us to do. Like when I tell people about our events, I always tell them, if there's anything you want us to do or anything you think this space would be awesome at seeing or doing here, let me know, let us know, and I will try and make it happen. I know a lot of places say that. I actually want to try and do it.
So you are the human suggestion box.
I am.
Yes, and if you know the internet, like we all know the internet, people have got their opinions.
Oh, I've got some opinions.
Even when it comes to this place, whether it be Yelp or just the Facebook post, where, and I said this before when we were off the air, I'd say like 95% of it has been all not just positive, but super positive. But then you get that 5% that say there weren't a lot of single comics. You know, there was a lot of space here, but then there were some holes here and there. I mean, it was still growing, and it's grown so much even in the, what's today, Friday?
Today is Friday.
Has it been 3 weeks?
It's
tomorrow
been-
or 4 weeks?
It's been.
Oh my God, has it been a month?
It's if it's a month, it's the fastest month I've ever
Because it was the
gone through.
13th we opened, and we're almost
Yeah.
at the 13th again. It'll be
Yeah.
a month tomorrow.
Yes, that's
Oh,
true. Actually.
smokes.
Yeah. But real fast, while we're on that, the single issue thing is totally resolved now.
Right.
By the way, we get in our weeklies all the time now. We are right now getting a little thin on stuff just because we're still getting used to our customers that we have here, and we don't want to order too much of something that no one wants to read.
Right.
But we have that. We have a bunch of really nice single issues now, and we're working on getting some back issues.
What are some more of your popular single issues?
Believe it or not, some of the Archie stuff is really
The Archie comics,
is
really?
Like,
I love Archie.
Archie and Jughead, yeah.
Like Archie #1 just came out of the revamp of Archie. It's
Right.
actually, I have no attachment to that character.
Right, I don't. My
Apart-
sister did growing
yeah.
up. Didn't wasn't somebody killed off last year?
They do a few things. I'm actually reading Archie Afterlife, and it is one of the most hilarious and darkest books I've ever read, along with Archie versus Predator. That book is hilarious.
Archie
too.
versus Predator?
Archie versus Predator. Yes. Right now it's Veronica, and what's the other girl's name?
Betty.
Betty.
They are.
You answered that really quick.
Yes.
Well,
she is.
I was just thinking about this. Just yesterday, I was in line at Publix.
They're always there.
They're always there.
Impulse
And-
items,
And
yep.
the Betty and Veronica double digest. I was looking at it going, okay, no.
Well, if you're interested, they're fighting Predator this week.
Wow.
So you can
Now I
see
can
what
see
happens.
Jughead fighting them because
You'll-
he's got
you'll
that
face
pointy
the
hat.
foes.
He could just put his head down and just like crush Predator in
Moose
one blow.
could take him. Moose could take Predator.
Okay, well that's good. So, any other? Well, I was asking my question was, what are some of the more popular single comics? And you said
Secret Wars is huge. Marvel did a really good job on this storyline. It's really interesting. And a couple of the offshoots that they're doing, like this week, Civil War from Secret Wars came out, and that's I'm sure you guys have all read Secret Wars.
Civil War is Secret Wars, but I was going to say Civil War. That name's been getting thrown around a lot because
Yeah.
that's the next film that's going to come out is going to be called Civil War. Because we were just reading this somewhere that Samuel L. Jackson said, "I'm not going to be in this movie. I'm not going to be in that movie, and I want to be." But there's just no room for him. I mean, this movie's going to be so packed, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gonna be a full cast movie. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna put my nerddom on the line. I'm pretty sure I read an article that said that Spider-Man is a key character in this
Yes,
movie.
I'd heard that
Okay.
as well. I hadn't confirmed, but yeah, people are
Yeah.
whispering about that, and then it'll unfortunately going to be recasting Spider-Man again. So we'll have 3 Spider-Mans within a 6-year period, I
The-
think.
Excessive.
The
they
upside.
did it with Hulk.
That's true.
that's fair.
They went from one CG Hulk to another CG Hulk and three actors to play them. Yeah, you're right though.
The upside is with the Spider-Man stuff is after he appears in Civil War, I believe it's a good 2 or 3 years till he gets his own standalone movie from the huge map of nerd fandom movies we have coming out in the next 50,000 years. Just movie after movie after movie.
So Greg was saying you're kind of the human suggestion box. Anything else that you've been given as a suggestion that you would like to work on in the near future here?
We really want to. We've been told we should really do some video game events. There's a huge
Sure.
video game audience here in Central Florida, and
Yeah.
we want to try and cater to that. I'm working with September actually being a video game themed month.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess what they're saying is they want to come here and play games interactively together.
Yes.
Like I can imagine when Battlefront comes out, they're going to want 8-on-8 people playing each other. But there's issues with that, and then it comes with making sure you've got good, clean internet here so that it can all connect together.
Yeah.
And when you guys are still having internet issues here, or is it still?
It's slowly but surely getting resolved.
Right.
Luckily enough with the video games, we're gonna do some more classic based ones. Like people want to see like Smash Brothers and Street Fighter.
That is fun to watch.
Awesome.
Smash
Yeah.
Brothers is awesome.
The thing is, I want to see that too, but don't get me wrong, I'm an N64 fanboy.
Right.
So if and when we get Smash Brothers in here and Mario Kart, it's not going to be the new stuff. It's going to be the stuff
Right.
N64 and GameCube.
Would you love to play Mario Kart up on the giant screen here?
Real fast, on that note, to make you happy, one of the after-hour events we're going to do is after-hour gaming.
Yes.
We're actually going to do, if you guys have ever heard of it, Mario Drink and Drive.
Okay, I'm interested.
Oh.
So the way this works is we're going to have a draft sheet out with 4 spots open. Everyone signs up. Everyone has to have a designated driver sign for them because we want to be safe.
Of course.
Basically, we're going to hook up Mario Kart to the big projector screen we have. You have to buy 3 beers that you get at a discounted rate, and you can't finish a lap until you finish your beer. And
Nice.
it's 3 laps.
There's nothing better than a game console and a liquor license.
Exactly. So that's going to be one of the events we're running, and it's awesome because if you enter it, you get discounted beer. If you don't enter it, you get to watch 4 people play drunk Mario Kart on a big projector screen.
Just some of the games I'm thinking of now when you combine alcohol with it, that'd just be so much fun.
I have lots of experience in this ground, luckily enough, so I should be able to come up with some ideas.
When the PlayStation 3 came out and the Gran Turismo came out, I didn't want to do this. I bought the steering wheel with it. I'd love to see people drink and do steering
that
wheel
would be
games.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the cool things we're going to do though is we have arcade machines here.
Yes.
Luckily enough, we work with people that we can change those out. We're actually going to be doing a month-long event. We're going to have, hopefully, fingers crossed, the original Mega Man, which doesn't come in an arcade case, but we're going to get a custom. Pac-Man and Galaga,
Yeah.
and whoever has the high score on those machines at the end of the month will get store credit or some type
Oh,
of
what a
prize.
great idea.
rock on.
You've brought back there was a TV show in the 80s here. Were you here in the 80s?
No.
No, you weren't even born in the 80s.
I know what this is.
This game was called, this is a TV game show called Starcade.
I used to watch it
And
every
all it was
time
you
came on.
answered a couple of trivia questions, but then the kids, it was a kids game show. They'd go up to a game and they'd get to play for 30 seconds or a minute, and just whoever would get the highest score would win the game. But
What's the
I
name
think
of
it
that?
was a situation where you had to get to a certain score and then you move on to the next
move
game.
on to the next game.
And then
But
whoever got to the end
how could
fastest.
there not be arcade game TV shows? All the stupid reality shows we have out there right now.
Because everything's moved to YouTube.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Twitch.
Yep.
Twitch is big right now.
Yeah.
So that's a great idea. So if you get the high score, you'll get some sort of prize
Yeah.
here.
Depending, they actually just released today at San Diego Comic-Con that you can now buy a life-size Mega Man helmet. And I know that they already made the blasters for it. You can bet that I'm trying to get my hands on a helmet or a blaster and give that away as that monthly prize because I would love to give that to someone. And I'm pretty good at Mega Man, so if I win it, I win it. So,
Oh, excellent. All right, so I'm trying to carry you through to each month. We've got Halloween, of course. We've got Star Wars in December. Are you looking beyond that time at all? Anything in 2017 or
well,
2016?
well,
What year is it?
What year are we in?
2016 that you're
Yeah.
really looking forward to do here as an employee here at Gods and Monsters. What's something we should be looking forward to in the new year?
well, of course, we're going to try and do something with every big comic book franchise that comes out. So we're going to try and do something when Civil War comes out. And of course, we're here in Orlando where we have a huge convention every year. We're going to try and do something along the lines of them. We're trying to work with them or do like after hour party events here and stuff like that. We're working on some stuff. One of the things we are doing this year still though is in November Fallout comes out, the new Fallout 4 game.
Yes, I'm so excited.
We want to do something massive for
amazing.
that. Yeah, we have ideas right now that we want to do where we get like a vault door for the front of the store. We know a bunch of cosplayers that we want to come in dressed up, and we're going to have it, open to play and up on the screen over there. So we want to do a bunch of things.
When Fallout 3 came out, my friends and I did a 50s themed party because of the music. And so that was super fun. You guys should think about doing something like that, just theming it out.
That would be
Great
insane.
idea.
Yeah.
50? Did you say 50s theme
Yeah,
party?
it was 50s themed because
Is all that music original, or did they actually get that music from somewhere?
A
I think that-
lot of it's original, right?
Because
Yeah.
it's awesome music.
and I think some of it is actually genuine though. I believe. Like, it's such a wonderful soundtrack, and I've been keeping up with the lore of it. And I guess the whole premise behind why everything is 50s themed is because it's not when the bomb dropped.
Right.
Apparently, that's just when technology took off.
Yeah.
So everything just kind of stayed 50s themed because the technology that they developed at the time just took off, and I don't know why they kept all that, but it looked good.
You never know what theme is going to take off. I think it's the 50s, but the TV show that's on ABC now, Agent Carter.
Yeah.
Did you watch that at all?
More like 20s, 30s. I
Was
have a
it
friend
that
that's
far
obsessed
back?
with it. Yeah.
Oh, I feel bad that I got that so
No,
far
it's
off
okay.
because my kids, we loved Agent Carter. It's been picked up for a second season.
It's so
ABC's
good.
very happy with it. Agent Carter's, they're moving to Hollywood or something for season 2. There's something happening in season 2, but what a really well done show. And happily, they got the same actress from the Captain America movies to play Agent Carter. Actually, for the grand opening, no, not the grand opening, another day we came here, my girls both have the Agent Carter shirts.
Oh, really?
And they love it.
Nice.
Somebody was here at the grand opening dressed as Agent Carter. It was one of the few photos I took because my kids had left, and I was like, oh, I got to get a photo with you, miss. She was Agent Carter.
Oh, just Spidey.
Oh, Spider, you want to come and sit?
You
Please,
wanna come
come
join
sit
us
with
here?
us.
Let's share a microphone.
We're going to have to share the microphone, and I'm sorry I don't have another headset for you, but
Yeah.
we've been kind of talking about, Mason's been talking about the day-to-day stuff, the gaming that we're going to do,
Yeah.
and you've been thank you for sitting with us all this time, but please stay. We don't want you to go.
Oh, no, this is great. I love it.
We were talking a little bit about the statues that are for sale here, and the buyer who came in. Yeah, the Hot Toys stuff.
Yeah.
And we talked about a couple other Hot Toys, but
Spider, why don't you come sit here? Because it's important for you to hear and to speak into a microphone. So
Thank
here,
you,
here you
Greg.
go.
Wait.
Greg Moan giving up his seat.
It's actually really funny that he would show up right now. Spider's actually one of the people that I've been talking to about the Fallout stuff we want to do.
Right.
And he came up with the idea of trying to do something amazing for the front, like doing a vault door or something for the front of the store.
Yeah, we're playing around with the idea of converting the front entrance to a vault entryway for the grand opening. We're also looking at, we know a local confectioner in here, great guy. I don't want to talk about it too much while we're still just kind of spitballing the idea. But we'd love to get some cases of Nuka-Cola in here. Our craft soda selection in and of itself has been a huge hit here
Right.
in the store. And it kind of, we started collecting bottle caps for funsies for the event. And then,
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then we're like, oh no, we should get so-and-so to see if he can produce some like 2 or 3 custom cases of Nuka-Cola, and we'll do custom labels, custom caps, custom box art for it, and do like a giveaway or something.
That's a
like
great
special event.
idea.
Yeah.
I was asking Mason earlier, what's he looking forward to, and for Halloween and Star Wars in December. What are some of the things that you're kind of looking down the road and you're kind of excited about here?
Did anyone tell you about our gallery show?
I don't think
Halloween?
we've mentioned that today.
Can we talk about that?
I don't
Oh,
think we can.
I like that. There's been I talked to Todd a couple of weeks ago where we just sat down and did a one-on-one, and there's kind of that
I wait
I
for
want
the
to talk
okay.
about this, but I can't talk about it type thing.
It's something that still hasn't got the full stamp on it.
Right,
so
but
it's-
once we get it, we'll make that announcement on the Facebook
Yeah.
page and let people know.
We're putting together an art show. I'm not going to say any more about it, but in the Transmetropolitan Gallery. Normally we love our local artists.
Sure.
I'm a local artist.
Sure.
We're all local artists, and that was a lot of. That was a big reason why we started the galleries, to showcase that kind of work. But every once in a while, some big people come by, and you don't want to you don't want to
say no, right.
Sorry guys, we're a small thing. We're trying to keep it little. Stay tuned to our Facebook for a big announcement for Halloween, because I know it doesn't sound very exciting on the face of it, art show Halloween night, but no.
And that's something
this is
I said.
a little different.
That's something
Yeah.
I said to Todd 2 weeks ago when I interviewed him. The store now is starting to do work for you because the name has gotten out there and the popularity of it has, so that now you're not only making phone calls are coming into you.
Can
all the time.
Can I brag about something?
Please.
I had no idea about this until I was asked to go and install it earlier this week in the evening. Valiant Comics, makers of Robot Fighter, Exo Manowar, they made a custom piece of art, 30-foot banner for the store. This huge, and it's original art.
30 foot?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
it's huge. It
it's
takes up a
massive.
section of our wall.
Is it up right now?
Yeah,
Is that what's
and
up in the far corner?
Yeah, that's the Valiant made a banner specially for our store.
Oh, wow.
And just send it to us gratis,
And
just to have in here.
And this isn't just one example of the type of things that are coming to you rather than you going out looking for things.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they just. That's incredible.
Yeah, we're still going out and like with the Michael J. Fox thing, we're still trying to pursue because we want to
Right.
do big things. But it's so nice when people look at our store and they see the work that we've put into it, and they wanna throw us something because they want to help us make this place even more amazing.
That is
Oh, yeah.
that is great to hear. So that's one thing that you're hoping for Halloween. But we were talking with Mason, looking on down the road to December or next year. What are some of your big plans that you're kind of looking forward to doing here?
Well, I mentioned we talked once before during the grand opening. I mentioned there's a laundry list of scenic attractions and features that I have planned for this store. We kind of pushed things as far as we could in time for the grand opening,
Right.
and now we're kind of spooling up for phase 2, hopefully by the end of the year. Still want my Transformer in here. I'm a big Transformer
Right.
guy, and that's becoming more and more of a reality. The more we talk, the more we discuss it. We're still looking for a dedicated podcast area in here, which
Right.
is something that I like to theme out soon. And the bar just keeps growing and growing.
Yeah, that was going to be part of phase 2, but it looks like it's going to be part of phase 1.5.
Yeah.
The bar is coming on. Is kind of cascading real. We set it up, and first it was just a place you could play a couple of ROMs. Then we got our soda cases in, and that was fine. We were, and not to talk shop too much, we were making a couple of bucks here and there selling a Coke or two.
Sure.
Then we got the great idea to buy our own case and stock it full of craft sodas. And all of a sudden, same day that we got the craft sodas in, the sale of our regular soda products, the day-to-day corn syrupy, caffeine-y, energy drinky stuff, went to zero.
Wow.
And suddenly, people are coming in from all over the mall to get the craft soda.
The word has spread.
We can't
Yeah.
stop drinking the craft soda. Most of the stuff
Yeah.
is fantastic. It's literally, it is literally cane sugar, actual flavored juice, like if it's apples, they crush some apples,
Right.
honey and carbonation,
Wow.
and
Yeah.
it is phenomenal. It's just it's addicting. We are burning through our own supply almost as fast as the customers are doing it for us. We had a butter beer in here, very similar to the
Right.
licensed stuff, and that we ate up our own supply. The customer. No, I don't mean us here, but
Right.
the customer. We burned
Drinking
through
your
what we
profits.
had here. We burned through what we had here, and then we burned through everything that the warehouse had.
Wow.
Yeah.
We are waiting for them to manufacture more butterbeer for us.
So this is one of the surprises maybe that you didn't expect.
No,
Oh,
no,
no.
no, and that it just started cascading from there. Now we just signed off on our beer and wine, so that's going to start coming in soon.
Yeah.
We already started talking shop with the contractor about getting all the necessary fixtures in to start doing a little bit of meal prep in there. We have sponsorships lined up. Hopefully, we're huge fans of Little Coffee Shop of Horrors.
Yes.
They are tremendous. Not only do they make a phenomenal product, but they are just absolutely tremendous people. And man, they know their stuff when it comes to. They're watching their portable modular setup get built. Watching them do their thing is phenomenal. They're interested in partnering with us to some degree or another. Hopefully, something comes of that.
Our house stays stocked with Coffee Shop of Horrors coffee specifically. And then, like he said, their mobile setup is so neat. They have 2 coffee machines that are hooked up to a light system, and when the coffee is done brewing, it automatically lights up to let people know that it's done and ready
Wow.
for sampling. And they let you have as many samples as you want because the coffee's so good, you're gonna buy it after you taste it.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So visually very impressive
Yeah.
as well.
Oh, there's so
And
much
while we're
fun.
on this, we're actually with the beer and wine and everything, we're also we're really big into crafts, not just because of the success we've had, but also because we're really big behind pushing people who are independent, and most crafters are independent. So once we have the beer and wine license, we're going to have craft cider and craft beer. We're going to have the stuff you see everywhere else, but again, we really want to build those communities of seeing independent artists and anyone who's independent here in our store.
We're good friends with Hourglass Brewery, and this is something we've wanted to happen for a long time. So we already have a pre-established arrangement, I think, coming in. Hourglass is going to be supplying a lot of the craft beers, and they've got a local brewery right here on site. You go in their bar, and you see that you can see you can see the brewery right through the glass right then and then. A lot of other companies and little breweries around here go through them as well, and hopefully we'll be starting to stock that up. Meantime, I'm building a dessert case right now, so we can start having
Ice cream.
Something
Yeah.
that spins?
cold foods.
Oh,
I
love
just got
that.
I'm getting the part to make it rotate right now, and we got it cold, we got it lit up, and we're just going down the checklist. That's going to be running soon. We're still working on the Scenic. We're still pushing that Blade Runner tip on the Scenic. So expect it to kind of develop more and more. Right now we're just waiting to see what kind of practical things we need to stick in first before we start decorating.
What kind of hoops do you have to jump through to get a liquor license at a comic book store? What's that like?
It's really weird because we thought we were one type of store for the
Right.
license, and then we got told we were another type, and then we got told we were another type, and no one.
Sounds like a lot of paperwork.
Yeah, as far as I could understand from my end of it, because I wasn't too deeply involved, no one could figure out what we fell under. So we
We're
kind
6
of
different things.
Yeah.
You're in a category all on its own, for
so
sure.
we kind of had to dick around, and fortunately enough, we ended up being part of a category that allows us to get it faster. Like you said, we thought it would be part of Phase 2, but fortunately enough, because of where we fall, it's going to be a version, like you said, 1.5, and we have things we want to bring in with that. I'm not going to say too much, but
Right.
we're working on having in-house console gaming.
So
at
do you
the same
think
time.
when you do get the liquor license, will there be some form of another grand opening?
Yes.
Any excuse for a party.
Right.
I-
I mean, any excuse to put another invitation up on the Facebook page, the way
yeah.
that first one built up for the grand opening?
Oh, good lord.
Let people know that that's happening.
We had to kind of like do some like backwards counting for the grand opening. I know a couple of people in here were trying to count pairs of feet and lost count around 35 or 4,000 people. Then we were talking, we were looking at mall numbers, and they were talking somewhere in the ballpark of 6,000.
Based on parking spots?
Yeah, then we
Yes.
got told that we filled every one of our 6,700 parking spaces in here, and granted, some of those had to be for Bass Pro, but
Right.
Yeah, the mall
Very few.
the mall ran out of
Right.
parking.
And we had said this before at the grand opening, it's almost better that you were not open for the actual Artigan grand opening, because you wouldn't have gotten credit
No, we wouldn't.
for all the people that showed up. You had your own grand opening, and you got to show the mall and Central Florida what you guys are capable of.
Yeah.
I'm also really happy for what that grand opening did for the other stores and shops in
Absolutely.
this area here. People first,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
had some seriously good days because of that grand
Yeah.
opening, the days around it.
We-
and yeah.
Sorry.
No,
I was going to say, we have a gentleman here who does waffles and does crepes in-house.
Yes.
He makes them here. We went up to him the next day to go get something for us, and he held Todd's hand, looked at him, and he went, "I sold out." And Todd was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "By 2 o'clock, everything was gone."
Yeah.
2 o'clock, he was sold out. The pizza place in here ran out of dough.
Yeah, that
Like-
pizza place. I mean, you guys at the bar back here had coupons. I don't even know how many people saw those coupons. And it was like 2 pizzas for $10.
Yeah.
And I'm only going to guess half the people that went there even saw those coupons, and they still sold out.
Yeah.
The lines were long. When we finally took a break and went to go get a pizza, there was a huge line with 2/3 of the people in line in a costume also, I might
Yeah,
say.
but not just them. The people out here who
The local artists
the
who have their
local
own- yeah.
artists and all those people, they got a bunch. I work closely with them because we try to bring them into all our special events we do,
Mm-hmm.
and they're thankful for us being here and wanting to work with them. There's a gentleman that works here who's a magician. I believe his name's Melvin. He is insane. He had his own line during our grand entrance out front because we were letting him build balloon animals and do magic tricks.
Every person who owns a store in this mall is thrilled that you guys are here.
There's
for
also
sure.
a T-shirt maker right across the way. He wants
That's
to talk
true.
to you about giving us some shirts.
Oh,
just
some
like video game
shirts for
themed
the show?
shirts. Yeah,
Yeah.
for the show.
I just, because I didn't have anything, I've just been putting the Gods and Monsters logo up during these YouTube shows, and then just putting this microphone in the shot just to show that there's some sort of show going on at Gods and Monsters. So that's not a bad idea. We should go talk to him.
They're
That's
really
a good
cool.
idea.
He's got one that's a reference to Street Fighter. It's the quarter circle forward fierce. You know,
Oh, that's a great
for
idea.
Hadouken, and
Everybody's
it's
got
got it
great
in a
ideas.
ladies tank top because I have trouble finding nerdy ladies tank tops all
Yeah.
the time. I have to buy them large and cut them into cute tank tops. But he's got one, and it's got the Hadouken thing, and I'm like, finally, acknowledge your female gamers, please. Thank
Speaking
you.
of the grand opening, do you know how well the Transmetropolitan Art Gallery did for the grand opening?
It's kind of Anna's thing.
It's we the two of us wouldn't necessarily be
Yeah.
the best. We do know that locals love it. Like
Yes.
they love the chance because people who would never have their art displayed, I've had them come up to me because I get all this filtered through me all the time.
Sure.
People come up to me who never thought they'd put their stuff up are
Right.
coming up to me asking how they can do it.
Right.
And it's a wonderful thing because we want to express all forms of art here. Like Spider said, a lot of people who are here or come through here are artists, and we want to help them show the world how they do their thing.
And the size that you've allocated for the art gallery is very generous. It's huge over there. you wouldn't expect to see an art gallery at a comic book store, and it's the greatest idea.
We're trying to get a little more real estate in there going too. I'm going to have some floating walls put in so we can hold even more art. What's ironic is actually not 5 minutes ago we just sold a piece out of there. So
do you happen to know which one it was?
It was a custom urban vinyl piece of Bastet. That one
that one's nice.
I just bought that. I just watched that one walk out the door.
Was that one up during the grand opening?
Yeah.
I think I do remember seeing that.
Yeah,
so that one sold.
We've moved a nice, like you said, 3 or 4 weeks right now,
Yeah.
and we've moved at least half the art off that wall.
Yeah, we were saying earlier, tomorrow is 1 month. It's been 1 month they've been
That's
open.
weird, right? That's the fastest month ever.
Yeah.
Gotta
Yeah.
be.
It was a lot faster than the months building this place.
For sure.
Maybe you
Yeah.
can, because maybe he
Days.
wouldn't give me an honest answer, but you tell me, Queen, what was it like those few weeks before the grand opening? What was it like in the Queen and Spider home? What was it like there that last month before we opened here?
God, I think this became our home at one point. I was telling you before the show, like, I don't really contribute a whole lot to the store apart from moral support and being the cute chick who shows up. But there came points, whole nights, where I would just come in after my day job and I would just fall asleep in the back,
Yeah.
and they would work. We had artists in here till the sun was coming up.
Yeah.
Like I would come in and the sun was going down, and then when they came in to get me and say, "Hey, it's time to go home," like the sun was already up, and
Right.
they would go home, sleep for just a handful of hours, come back in, be back at it again just to get it going. This became our house.
It hasn't quite slowed down either. Sometimes where it's okay, it's closing time. Everyone needs to go home tonight, but
Right.
okay, we're still here 2-3 in the morning. Like I said, getting the Valiant posters up, doing some refab on the scenic work, trying to tweak things here or there, or alternately my days off. I'm committed to this place, man. My days off
Yeah.
get spent running around. Sourcing more collections and
Right.
inventory. We're still trying to recover from our grand opening. We got completely gutted on our grand opening,
Yeah.
and we're pushing real hard to get more collections in here. We do, we have an excellent trade-in policy for store credit right now for any collectible pieces anybody might be interested in bringing in. We just got the most.
I was going to ask, have you
Yeah.
seen any cool pieces come in?
Oh, we've seen
Oh,
some.
God.
Really, we have, especially for me, because we were talking about Star Wars and how much I love it. We got 2 really nice San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Star Wars pieces. One of them being the set that comes with Jar Jar Binks and Carbonite. And it is hilarious.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We just. I'm still in the midst of processing probably the largest and most comprehensive. Which are inappropriate words for this collection, which I'll get to in a minute, of Transformers you've ever seen in your life. You can go to a museum, you could go to a convention, you can go to a person's house, you can, and you might see a lot of these there.
Like
but
this guy.
Yeah, but like
Yes.
Metroplex here. But this collection also includes a staggering amount of custom and one-of-a-kind pieces, discontinued pieces, pieces that were only for certain third world markets. Some of them that were never released. Only factory samples exist. All those are in our store right now. A big draw. One of the things I'm most excited about is I think we are probably the only brick and mortar store in the Southeast United States right now that has third-party Transformers toys in it right now, which is a huge underground market. If you're a fan of the fandom here, this is the only place you can go that you can actually scope this stuff out and check it out firsthand in person before you commit the crazy amounts of money some of this stuff commands online. And before this is the only spot to see these things.
I imagine you can almost start your own separate Gods and Monsters Facebook page just based on all the cool things
Yeah.
that come in that are for sale. Like, oh God, I can't wait to let the people who love to come here know that this toy came in. Oh my God, look at this! This is coming in and it's for sale right now. There's a seller here who's selling like 90% of his stuff. You got to come check this stuff out.
We have an assortment, and they're actually rapidly vanishing. I think we've sold 4 of them just today. Our Hot Toys collection. If anybody's familiar with Sideshow collectibles, Hot Toys are like realer than real. It's a tiny, exact. You go in, you pop the head off of the character, and you reach up into the back of the head, and you can dial in their facial expressions.
The Loki doll is an example of that.
Yeah, this Chris Reeve Superman here. They are phenomenal pieces.
This is the angry Lois Lane just died in her car face from the first Superman movie. Hey, Greg,
And
can you grab that other flip camera that I was charging? Because this one died. Do you know how to turn that one on? Okay, I'm sorry. So yeah, Loki and Superman are just two examples.
And the Iron Man suits that are back there are just staggering, solid metal, fully electronic, unbelievable. All the plates and panels shift and move around and adapt on them. Light up bases. They are incredible. And though we have a couple here again that are extraordinarily hard to find. We have the X-Men Origins Wolverine figure, which that's fine.
Sure.
You can find it fine, but you can't find him with his Indian, with his motorcycle.
Oh, is he wearing the leather jacket and the motorcycle?
Yeah.
Or?
We got him.
Yeah.
We got him right here in the case.
Wow.
And I mean, a lot of this was a huge watershed. This is some of this. We were processing one massive collection that we were selling on consignment for a local collector and a friend of the stores. And literally, like as this stuff is coming in, and I'm looking over the manifests and just trying to process this massive amount of stuff, another collection came in right on top of it, and we had to get out on the floor right away. Right now you come in and I spent most of the day selling off the manifest because we got maybe 15% of our stock is out on the floor right now, and that's just that. Like
Right.
we're still pursuing Masters of the Universe, Marvel Legends. Hell, I mean, if you got Monster High dolls, bring them by the store. We love this stuff, and we got a lot of real estate we need to fill up.
I was going to say, there's still plenty of space here. Not to say that the store is empty. It's just that you have a big space.
Yeah.
And even since the grand opening, it's gotten thicker in here when it comes to merchandise.
Well, it's one of those things where we plan to be here for some years, and we don't want to open somewhere where once we open, like, well, that's all the space we have. We want that X many years from now, this place to be stacked wall to wall with things you can't find anywhere else.
Right.
Can I plug one of these things?
Go,
right
please,
now,
go right ahead.
He loves these guys.
I didn't.
Were these
think-
two different collectors, by the way?
This is actually from the same collector.
Okay.
I didn't think I was obsessed until like magazines started calling me and asking me for sound bites on Transformers.
Wow.
And then I realized I might have a problem, and I got to go
a
back
good
and
problem.
figure out like where where things went wrong. But I love the fandom. I love Transformers. I love the mythology behind it. When something lasts, I mean, you look at a product line and it's whatever. But something a fiction lasts over 30 years, and it doesn't matter what its origins were, whether it was some lone author in an attic somewhere crafting Lord of the Rings, or a roundtable discussion of marketing guys developing Transformers out of several defunct robot lines.
Right.
30 years of comic books and movies and cartoons creates a huge, it creates its own mythology, and you got. I mean, one of the titans of the mythology right now, one of the largest Transformers ever created, was a robot that converted into an entire city called Metroplex. A couple of years back, Hasbro, in conjunction with High Moon Games, who was creating the video game series, the War for Cybertron games, the Fall of Cybertron games, gifted us with a gigantic Metroplex figure as a tie-in for it. It made it into it was a high-end piece. It was about $150 if you could find it at retail, but even so, it was selling out within a week. Nobody was ever finding it. There was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive version of it, and that's what we have in the store right now. Has double the weaponry on it, extra paint applications, chrome paint on him. He comes in a massive box. The box that he sold in was so massive that Hasbro had to sell you a special tote bag to hold it in. I wish we actually had the tote bag here because you could crawl.
Did it have
in
to have a handle on it of
Yeah.
some kind?
It's massive.
I think I saw it at the guy's house.
It's hanging up on the wall right now. You could hide a German Shepherd in it. It's massive, and it's a lot of fun, and you're never going to find this in another retail space. And we got it right now comprehensively. It's like you walked off of the Comic-Con floor with it.
Mason, duty calls. You have to get back to work.
Thank you.
Oh,
so
thank
much
you,
for having me here.
and thank you for keeping us informed on the
Oh, no,
gaming
it's
and every
great.
night here. And we're going to try and be here every Friday night, so you can keep us updated every
Thanks.
Friday and let us know what's going on with the gaming
Yeah,
community.
I want to keep telling you guys about what we got going planned, especially with the big events that we have planned coming up.
Absolutely. Well, good. Thank you for sharing all that
no,
info with
thank
us.
you.
We'll see you next week.
Take care.
I
Well,
think
we're
I'm
not
gonna-
done, so do you need to get going too?
Yeah, I'm gonna jump off. I got a lot of work to be doing.
I know.
here.
It's
I
bad.
got jobs
It's
and
bad to be
everything.
bothering people during work hours, but
can't
this
be
is when
helped.
we know you're going to be here.
Yeah,
Todd
it's very
Fisher
exciting.
joining us now on the far end.
Hi.
We were just getting a beautiful description of the Transformer here.
Oh yeah.
And who
if
got-
Spider's here, that's what you're gonna get.
So
you're
who
gonna
got
get
the-
a beautiful description, a lengthy, beautiful description.
Who got the phone call? Who got the phone call on that saying, "Hey, I've got this for you"?
He's up front. He's going up front for you.
This is what
They
happens
need
when
me
you're
too.
here during
see?
store hours. Oh,
I thought
please.
I thought I was going to get to jump in on this, but
The-
I'm not.
the shortest walk-on
I
in
know,
history.
right? It's a drive-by Todding. So
All right,
We'll see you guys
We'll
soon.
come back anytime.
Yeah.
So
Please.
yeah,
Come back.
I'm going to leave you in Crystal's capable hands. I'll be
Thank you
I'll be
very
back
much.
at some point though.
Thank you. We'll be here. Wow, they just bailed on us. Greg, you can come on back since they just bailed on us.
I'm
But-
enjoying a
but-
secret snack.
I didn't get a chance to ask.
What?
Does the Transformer, can it transform?
Yes.
So maybe once a week, it should be transformed into whatever it is getting transformed into.
Well, sometimes it's a lengthy process, and transforming them, Spider has no problem memorizing the transformations for them.
Right.
But sometimes it adds a little bit of wear and tear to the plastic.
Oh, you don't want to be doing
So
that.
yeah, and in order for us to show off completely the customizations that have been done to it, we keep it in this form, as opposed to keeping it in its vehicle form or its city form.
I think it's awesome, and it's probably not going to be here very long, is it?
Mm-mm.
All right, I should turn down mic number 2, right? That's what a good podcaster would do, is turn down the volume of the mic that we're not using.
Ta-da.
Instead of hearing in the background. I just realized that now. Well, that was good. We heard from Mason, we heard from Spider, and for 30 whole seconds, we heard from the co-owner, Todd, who we've spoken to many times. But it's nice to always get an update from him to see if he's happy or if he's sad, and it looks like since the grand opening, he's been happy. Except, those, I'm going to turn that down just a little. All right, your headphones you'd like turned down a little.
Yes, please.
He's trying to do it so quietly by telling me, and I'm like, is it this one?
I'll
Very
turn down your
professional.
mic.
Very
Hand signal.
professional.
Thank
That's
you.
Something's
good.
ringing.
So you were kind of letting me know what it was like for you and Spider that month before we were opened here, and you really were he was living here.
Oh yeah, and I remember when we got the space. I've been here since the idea was conceived.
Yeah, I've kind of asked everybody that question when they sit down, and I'll ask you, what was it like the first time you walked into this place? The first time I walked in, I interviewed Todd almost a year ago, and I was like, you could fit the Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s aircraft carrier in here
Yes.
comfortably. And it was such a massive space. I was like, oh. And I did a demonstration where I stood at one end of the store and I ran to the other and ran back during that episode that I taped. It took me a good 20, maybe 15 seconds to run all the way through from one end to the other. But what were your impressions the first time you saw this place?
So I was at home with Spider, and I was watching him develop the graphics first before I had ever seen the space, and he kept saying, "Oh, it's huge, it's so big, blah blah blah," and I was like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna believe it when I see it," kind of person.
Right.
So when I first walked in here, I just kind of stopped because initially we didn't want a space that was this big.
Right.
We wanted one that was.
You don't want the pressure of trying to fill that space.
Yeah, you want something that's significantly smaller, and then we had plans on growing. But then it just worked out that we ended up with this. We worked out a great deal with the mall.
The Artigan worked very closely
yeah.
with Todd and Anna, and it's been a great, as far as I can see from my point of view, it's been a great relationship so far.
Oh, so far, yeah.
Yes.
When I first came here, this place had no electricity, no floor, no nothing. It was dirt.
Every week or two, I try to come here and shoot a video for Todd to get build up, and it was for I forgot the name of it again, the GoFundMe. It was
Indiegogo?
Indiegogo at the time. We were trying to shoot videos to get updates in the store. Like, let's look at the progression. We'll keep shooting videos. But then they had no power for like a month or two.
Yeah.
And it was like, I had a light that I used for shooting videos. I had 2 of them. I left them here for Craig, the contractor. I just left the lights here, and they ran an extension cord from another store, I think, because they had no light to even pull up the carpet. It was just 2 months of them like, yep, this is going to go here and that's going to go there, and we kept looking at the artist renderings, but it's like, where's the power? It just wasn't coming.
Yeah, we didn't have a lot for a long time.
Yeah. Because at one point this was all Shepler's.
Yes.
And then the store got cut in half, but that meant separate power, and separate cable and separate internet, all those things you're kind of still dealing with. But no power for a couple of months meant, unfortunately, the Gods and Monsters was not open in time for the original grand opening of the mall. However, as we've said before, it was much better to have your own separate grand opening to show the city of Orlando what you're capable of doing here.
Yeah, it was strong. It was strong.
So you were here for those first few months when there was no power, and
Yeah.
what were your thoughts?
There was nothing. I sat here and I was like, what the hell are we going to do with all of this? Everybody has the same thing. When they walked in here, people were just, jaws would drop, and they're just
Right.
like, what are we going to do with all this? And they had a plan, but you know how it's hard to see somebody else's plan because
Right.
it's not yours?
Right.
So this whole time you're like, yeah, and this is going to go here, and that's going to go there, and we're going to have this, and it's going to be themed like this. And I'm like, guys, I just can't see it.
Right.
I just can't. So, like
Yeah.
I said, I work right around the corner from here. So every day after work,
And-
I would take a little 10-minute drive over and just watch it grow.
I was looking at the artist renderings, and we
Yeah.
interviewed him during the grand opening. I'm sorry, I've forgotten his name right now. The
I don't
gentleman
recall it
who
either.
lives in Tampa, and he's actually going to be moving soon from Tampa. He's an artist. And he did the artist renderings, and that's all we had to go on for almost a year. And then we see the store, and I would hold it up and like Transmetropolitan, and I would hold it up like it's going to look like this, it's going to be here. But I guess when you get a space this size, it's like, oh, we get to do an art gallery. Oh, but now we get to do a big art gallery.
Oh,
It's like, we're going to
yeah.
have a gaming center. Oh, we're going to have a big gaming center. Oh, he might be coming back.
Oh, he's coming
He
back.
might be coming back. Excellent.
All right.
Hey.
We've talked about it so many times about those months before you opened and you didn't have power, and we've podcasted that to death. It's fun to now look towards the future, and we've talked about November, we've talked about Halloween, we've talked about Star Wars in December, but I'd like to play a game called Let's Start a Rumor, where I say something. Oh wait, I don't think his mic's on.
Oh,
Right?
turn his
Oh,
mic
you know
down.
what? Wait,
You know what?
that's
You're-
me.
you're in
Wait,
charge of that.
Wait, that's me. Go ahead, Todd. Can I hear you? Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
Oh,
There we
hey,
go.
there we are. Hey, it's
We're
Todd,
gonna
everybody.
have a segment of the show called Let's Start a Rumor. Now, I'm
Okay.
going to ask a question, and you're not going to give me an answer either way. We're just going to look at the look on your face.
Okay.
And then that's how you start the
I love
rumor.
this. This is cool.
Question number
Oh,
one.
wait, I'm on camera, too.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
So everybody
Yes.
will see your
Okay.
face.
Yes,
Oh,
we'll
man.
see your face. That's
Okay.
good for video. Question number one.
Okay.
In the near future,
Yeah.
we may possibly see Kevin Smith here. Let's start a rumor. He was pretty good there.
Good
that,
poker
That
face.
one could go either way.
That's a
and that's how
poker
you
face.
play.
Yeah.
Let's start a rumor.
Nice.
Good
So
job.
Did I win? Did I win something?
I don't know. We'll look back at this tape in a year from now and be like, he did
You-
a good job of it.
I knew it.
It'd be great to see somebody like that here. It'd be great to.
I wonder what the viewing public got out of that look.
I don't know.
I know what
freezing.
you guys got
They're
out of
they're
it.
at YouTube and they just froze that image and pulled it up full screen. To be
Right.
like,
Oh, is it live?
Kevin Smith? No, we're not live.
Oh, okay.
No, we didn't have the technology to
I'm
do
going to
that
start
today.
a rumor that we're live.
How was my face on that?
It's pretty good.
Because I was like,
It's pretty good.
We can't do that right
Pretty
now.
strong, yeah. We can't do that.
Oh, I
But,
have a rumor.
Yes.
At the grand opening,
Yeah.
George Perez was here. Did you know this?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I did
No,
not
you-
at the time until the next day. Were you in his office the next
I
day?
was in his office.
You were in George Perez's office the next day doing a
not,
photo
not-
shoot?
Not the next day. It was. I think it was the next some point at the next week. Yeah, I watched him draw this really cool thing for CGC Comics, comic grading something or other it is.
Now, you didn't
Comic
know he
grading
was going to
company.
be here at the
Yeah,
grand opening?
good friend and ally to Gods and Monsters, Tabitha Johnson was running the event for the Hero Initiative that day, and she and George are related.
Yes.
She wasn't even sure herself whether or not George was going to show. So it was kind of cool and kind of fitting that he would show on such a big day for us. So yeah, it was a surprise to see him. A pleasant surprise to see.
It
George.
was such a big day that we didn't even know George Perez was in the building. That's
That's
how
right.
big the grand
It
opening
was so
was.
big.
Yeah, that's right.
right.
So I can't remember if I'd mentioned this to you before, but how did the Hero Initiative do that day for the grand opening?
They did
Brought a lot
really-
of awareness for sure.
They did really well. I'm not even sure what the numbers were, but I mean, they made quite a bit. They made quite a bit, and that's really what it's about. And we've still got their jars, their jars at all the registers here.
Very
So people are still putting money in there too.
And more people are now familiar with what the Hero
Abs-
Initiative is.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We were talking with Mason earlier about the hoops that you have to jump through to get a liquor license.
Oh yeah.
I don't know of many comic book stores that have one, and he gave us kind of his impressions of it. What are your thoughts on what it's like to own a comic book store and try and get a liquor license?
Well, a liquor license is a strong way of putting it. We're going for beer and wine.
Okay, beer and wine.
And
yes.
liquor licenses, tens of thousands of dollars. We found out that the beer and wine, the beer and wine process is far more streamlined and a lot cheaper. And frankly, I don't know that that's the kind of crowd we'd want to bring in with, one that would go for a liquor license. But the beer and wine is something that I think everybody can, kind of
Absolutely.
handle.
Where does
better.
Romulan ale fit in that category? That might be a liquor.
It's an ale.
I
It could
don't
work.
know. Okay.
We'll make it work.
There's a lot of fun ways to get around liquor when you only have the beer and wine though, because they have all these very bizarre. What are they called? They're like flavored drinks.
Jellos
that-
and-
they're not actual liquor, but there's something that beer and wine proprietors can have that
falls into that category?
that you could order a rum and coke at a beer and wine place, and they'll pour you a what appears to be a rum and coke, but it's like 13% alcohol. It's not like rum.
Really?
It's not rum. Yeah, I know. That's gonna get you ripped.
Ways around it. Yeah.
But yeah.
We were hearing examples of what
So
Mason was looking for.
What I'm saying is they could make Romulan ale. It'll
Yes.
just be
Oh,
like
sure.
it'll just be like
as long
a
as it's blue, I'm fine, right? It's
13%
blue. Is that correct?
alcohol.
Yes.
Okay, thank
Romulan
you.
ale is blue.
That was a test.
Oh, man.
We were Mason was discussing how, after agreeing that you have a designated driver,
Sure.
that there will be some fun beer and wine and Mario Kart experiences up on the green screen.
I'm sure
playing
that
games
won't be uncommon here.
Absolutely. So we were mentioning that version 2 of Gods and Monsters was going to include a liquor license. However, it appears to be that it's going to be version 1.5 may
Sure.
have that. You're not going to wait as long as.
Well, we were surprised. Our another friend of Gods and Monsters, our contractor Craig,
Yes.
brought it to our attention that it was a very, very short and streamlined process, and within 3 or 4 days we had it all figured out and done.
So not as much red tape as maybe you thought it was
Not-
going to be.
Not nearly.
Mason was mentioning something about what this store categorizes as, and you had to deal with, well, what are you exactly? And that's going to be based on the liquor license
Sure.
that the license that you get, but it's not appears to be not as troublesome as it was going to be.
It wasn't nearly as bad as we thought it was going to be. It was like a 3-day process, and that was it. And we had most of the paperwork already done. So it was really just a matter of knowing where to go and knowing who to pay the $100 or
Right.
so dollars to, and we're set up for a temporary, but that's gonna change.
And when that temporary comes in, perhaps there'll be some sort of grand opening.
Temporary
here.
is in hand. We
Right.
have it in hand. She's made the first order for the craft beers and stuff. So
Nice.
that stuff should be in momentarily.
So will there be any sort of kind of grand opening now that there will be some sort of alcohol
Well,
served?
I'm sure we'll probably
Throw
do
together a
something
little
like that.
invitation on Facebook again
Definitely.
for people to
Yeah,
arrive.
Yeah.
Good,
We'll definitely make everybody
We
aware.
will be here that night.
Hell
And
yeah.
we'll
we
make
will
sure,
have a drinking podcast.
Right.
Nice.
We'll have a drinking podcast. We'll go until the cameras shut
Just
off. And we'll
bring
probably
your
go 30
drivers.
minutes after the cameras shut off. We won't know it.
I'll just show up.
Please, please do. It's been an
Hey,
hour.
everybody,
It's
Crystal's
been-
here. Hi,
it's-
Crystal.
It's been
Oh,
an
hey.
hour. It's been an hour and 20 minutes already. We're tearing through it like it's the grand opening again, where we don't even realize how much time
Oh,
has
yeah, it
gone
is.
by. But I haven't seen you in about a week or so. The last time I saw you,
You went on vacation.
yes, I was on vacation. I got to tell you, while
in
I was
the
on
woods.
vacation, I really missed not being here.
We missed
Because-
you too.
because
I
we
was
were
literally
here.
asking Anna like every day, like, when's Art coming by?
I gotta tell you, I don't work here. I have no affiliation with Gods and Monsters other than I'm a huge fan, and we're trying to build something here
Sure.
with these little things and stuff like this that maybe can grow into something that can help, generate revenue for the store.
Art is very modest. He is a huge part of what we're doing
Well,
here.
I'm going to let you know I did have that camera purposely set up there so we could see all of my commercials in the background that I
Yeah.
loved putting together.
I'm just saying.
But it's just when I wasn't here for that week and a half I was on vacation, I was on the Facebook page. I was
Sure.
like, what's coming in? You guys are putting up photos constantly.
Yeah.
Here our single comics are in, and there's all the photos, and it's like, oh, I'm missing out on all this stuff.
It's funny you bring up the single comics. That was, and I think I mentioned this last time, was the
comment section of
like
the Facebook page.
The comments on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
There were a lot of
Don't-
really.
Don't go to Yelp. Do not go to Yelp.
Don't do it.
Oh, now I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I know, right? It's yeah. The main criticism that we got in those first couple of weeks was that we're a comic book store with no comics, like
Right.
no single comics, and man, it really, because man, they were being really mean about
Yeah,
it. Like
I know.
it was Don't
That's
look
the
at Yelp.
that's the internet for you.
It really
But if
it-
you were to look on the grand scale, that was 2% and 98%
Sure.
was
Well,
the
no,
love.
believe me, like the overwhelming majority was all
But the way
very, very positive.
But the
and
way
very,
that
very
the way
supportive.
our motors work, that
Right.
2%
It's-
sticks in your mind.
It's always about what we're not doing right or what
Right.
we're not giving them. And frankly, that's kind of it sucks because it hurts.
Right.
But it's the stuff that we need to hear.
You
and
build
we,
off
and we
of
wanna-
that.
And now,
right.
new
And now the
comics.
single comics are here.
New
Mason
comics.
said he's been like Greg called him. He's the human suggestion box where people just bring him
Sure.
the things, and then you're making changes based on the opinions that you hear. Which
That's
is,
right.
Which is
and it
great.
was, and frankly, it was always our intent to bring in new comics.
Sure.
It was just something that we hadn't really ordered towards. We were just trying to get a good solid base first, and now we've got subscribers that are regularly, we're regularly taking on new subscribers. So it gives us a good base on which to base those orders. So yeah, you'll start to see the new stuff every week.
Very good.
yes.
One of our focuses tonight.
So
was
everybody calm down.
Yes, calm down. But however, continue
Sheesh.
to send your comments to Todd Fisher
Todd
at
Fisher,
Gods and Monsters on
right.
Facebook.
Yeah.
One of the things we wanted to be here tonight, Friday night, because tonight was the first Friday night for Magic the Gathering.
Sure.
So we want to kind of be here during game nights.
Right.
And Mason went through the list of what you've got every day. You've got something planned here.
Yeah.
You're going to have karaoke here soon
Sure.
for some nights. You got
Yeah.
board game nights. And
I think by law you have to do karaoke if you've got a beer and wine license.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
That's
pretty
kind
sure
of
by
and-
law.
Which, by the way, I'm taking karaoke challenges. I challenge anyone because I'm taking vocal lessons.
excellent.
Oh, man.
Oh, no,
Right
she's a
now.
ringer. We can't let
Yes.
her
Yeah.
sing.
Oops.
I had mentioned also now that it's making kind of a resurgence now, and it'll be coming to the console soon as the Garage Band and Rock Band are coming back now
Oh,
with the
wow.
new series.
Right
So
on.
for have that to be up here on the great screen, to have a little battle of the bands, to get two groups of people together on the drums and the guitar.
Well, somebody
and singing.
just got a PS4, if I recall.
Yes, with Batman attached to it in the
Man.
box.
It's not that I got a PS4. I have to brag. I got it for free.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Because
Yep.
free is my favorite flavor.
Yes.
But
Hashtag
yeah.
humble brag.
Have you got to simmer down and play that beast yet?
It's just like buying a new phone. I spent all afternoon setting it up. I had to, plug it in and then
Sure.
turn
Oh
it
my
on.
God,
and then
that must have taken what 9 seconds.
Oh no, dude! There's all this other stuff. You got to log into your Hulu, log into
man.
your Amazon,
yeah.
log into.
Did you have a PlayStation 3?
No. Well, I did for a short period of time, but I'm such a huge asshole that when I broke up with my ex-boyfriend, I told him, "Hey, I'm taking the Xbox because it has more games in." Because he was too stupid to know that Gears of War doesn't
So
come
in
on
the
PlayStation.
divorce,
That
one got
sounds
the
fair.
PlayStation
Right.
and one got the
Yeah,
Xbox.
sorry
Right.
about the A-bomb.
And when you put in Batman Arkham Knight, did it then say downloading updates for the next 3.5 hours?
Oh yeah, it started downloading an update, but that took like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh,
But thankfully, a friend of mine called, and I was like, "Well, I'll just go be busy."
not
Because-
only did Arkham have an update, I bet plugging that PlayStation 4 in
Probably.
for the first time, it had an update as well.
It had a short update.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it's been out. Has PlayStation 4 been out a year yet? Or Christmas? When did it
this
come out?
Christmas it will be a year.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah,
the
so a
cycle.
good solid 6 months.
So,
Because now when game developers make a game that's not not finished right away, they'll finish it later, but
Right.
they want to sell it to you first. So when you buy it, as soon as you plug it in, then you have to
Yeah.
update it to make
Yeah,
it
yeah.
work.
So that's a whole nother
That's smart.
section of Gods and Monsters that really hasn't happened yet. Is
Yeah.
going to be the console games, the PlayStations and the
Sure.
Xboxes being here. That's going to be so much fun.
Yeah,
It
man.
really, really is. You're going to have to compete for table space with the card games
Exactly,
than it is for
right.
the consoles. And
Well, we
especially
want
since you bought
we
this-
want the lounge to be kind of the destination for everybody. Like
Right.
whether it's a board game you're into, or a card game, or just coming to watch a movie, or like you said, the PS4 or whatever.
Right.
That's we want to kind of be a place where all of them can show up and play.
So looking ahead, what is it that you don't see here now that you want to see in the next few months or maybe for 2016?
Well, I guess
other than Kevin Smith.
other than Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Oh,
Okay.
he kept the same
I
face.
got the
That's
same
good.
face. That's
Jason
good.
Mewes.
Right?
Yes. Oh, he could actually work here.
OJ. Let's see.
What is it you don't see here now that you'd like to see in 2016?
Well, you know what? I'd like to see more cases. I'm speaking from a purely retail end of things. I want more glass cases in here so
Oh.
I can put out more product and
Right.
and stuff like that.
And
But,
as more and more people come to you saying, "Help sell my stuff,"
sure.
if they start coming in at the rate they're coming in right now, which is like you're gonna need more space.
Oh yeah, no, I already need it. Yeah, we've just started hosting a really epic Transformer and Hot Toys collection that's taking up a lot of our retail space.
Right.
So that's it's good, but I need more. I need to get more glass cases.
So tell people what to do if they have stuff at home and they're interested in selling. What is the steps they should take?
Well, if they want to come in and talk trade with me, they can come in pretty much any day I'm here. I think I'm off Mondays now.
I doubt that, but-
Right, I know. But they can always drop us a line on the Facebook and give me an idea of what they got, and we can do the preliminary stages there. And then if it's something that I want to take a look at more intimately, then they can come in, bring the stuff into the store, and we'll take a look.
And the same applies for anybody that wants to submit something for the Trans-Metropolitan Art Gallery.
That's
as well?
true. Yeah, if we're doing the themed events or the art shows, yeah, definitely. They can reach out to us on the Facebook Caravana, and she'll point him in the right direction.
So I wasn't here last week. I was on vacation. As I said, I was following you on Facebook and all the photos you were putting
In
up.
the
It seemed
woods.
like
You were in the woods
I was out in the woods
Following
with
me
very
on
little
Facebook.
Wi-Fi, just following you on Facebook.
You were
and
taking a nap on a hammock. I saw
I
you.
was. I was using this new app called Periscope, which is like a live
yeah, I've
version
heard
of
about
Twitter.
this.
I would love to do it right now if I could get the audio hooked into the camera.
Sure.
Where you just look at the map of the world and you see a little red dot in Australia and you click on it and it pops up live.
You know what? I have it on my phone. I'm going to do it on mine real
Oh,
quick.
man.
Do you really have it?
Yeah, I have it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, man.
I did a test out in the woods. I was sitting in the hammock in the woods. I hooked this microphone directly to my iPhone to see if the microphone worked, and it did. So, and then the messages pop up from people live. So I'd love to have Periscope when we do these web shows.
What the hell was that?
That was
The London fog
pardon
rolling
me.
in? Oh, yes.
Pardon me. I had Del Taco.
But to have the Periscope questions just pop up live, it's like a 10-second delay where you can say hello.
That's
and,
so cool.
And so I need to acquire the
Oh,
Gods
man,
and
she's
Monsters
got it.
Twitter.
She's doing something.
Yep.
Hold on.
It's the new social media for the kids. I don't get it.
For the kids.
For the kids.
No, I'm at 100%.
Those
so I'm gonna
kids
do-
today
I joined Facebook 3 months ago.
with their
So-
root beer and their Periscope.
I'd like to leave Facebook.
All right, I'd like to. Wow, is somebody having tuba practice?
Whatever's
Gods and
happening over
Monsters.
there is so cool.
I'm going to title it Gods and Monsters Podcast.
I'm going to do the same and see if we can get as many viewers as well.
We're gonna
Gods
take a short timeout here.
and something happening behind us here.
Oh, there's a fire that needs to be put out.
No, there was literally one time when Spider and I were taking out the garbage. It was actually
A
quite
literal
hilarious.
fire?
Yeah, out back. It was
That's awesome.
hilarious. We were out there. We're dropping off the boxes, and the security. You know how they have orange lights on the top?
Yeah.
They pulled in. They were doing their regular security check, and we turned around and we noticed something a little more orange than the lights. And Spider goes, "Is that a fire?" And I look, and sure enough, the little cigarette thing out back was on fire. It was full blown, just going to town.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Well, I'm doing the same thing right now. I'm
Would you
doing
get that phone away from that microphone?
I know it's
oh,
causing.
I
that.
know
There you
mine
go.
is doing it.
So
My
look,
bad.
I already have 3 viewers.
What?
I have 3
what
viewers.
Are we doing? We're
welcoming.
not doing anything.
I called it Gods and Monsters Web Show for anybody that wants to join in. Now, of course, the audio is not going to be so great. They're going to hear me, but they're not going to hear you,
That's
and they're
correct.
not going to hear her.
Nope.
But she's doing hers as well. And then hello to 8-second delay who just joined us. 8-second delay. I get that because that's
I
what
have
it
an
is about on
internet problem.
podcasts. It's an 8-second delay. You're listening to the Gods and Monsters Web Show that will be posted up on YouTube tomorrow. But we're doing it here live. We are at the second largest comic book store in the country at the Artigan Mall in Orlando, Florida.
I'm absolutely
Hey, Art.
certain, Art, that there is a
8-second delay said, "Hey Art, do I know you? You said my name. How did you know my name?
That's
Who is
weird.
this?" So I'm doing the Periscope right now, and so is she.
Oh, man.
Now
You're periscoping her periscoping
I
you.
am.
I
See,
lost all my stats.
the
is so
issue,
meta.
the issue with Periscope right now is that everybody wants to do this, but
Oh.
I've been trained to use the whole screen.
Yeah.
Our TV sets at home are getting wider and wider and bigger, and then what do? We do this. I'm sorry, I'm doing that to the fans at home. But the catch with the phase 1 of Periscope is that you can only see the messages typed sideways.
Yeah.
But I'd rather see everybody like this. So right now I have 5 viewers that just popped up.
And I'm fairly certain that there's a
kidding.
cable that can run out of a board or somewhere into your
Into this.
that,
Well,
and
yeah,
it'll
if
play.
I can run this mic
Get it away from the
directly in here.
microphone.
Sorry about that.
No,
Yeah.
it's Art. Art's doing it.
Function 2 Flair has joined. Hello, we are at the Gods and Monsters comic book store in Orlando, Florida.
Hello, Function 2 Flare.
She is the 6th person who is up there live right now. We're
Wow.
looking at one of the hot toys. It's just I love staring at this Christopher Reeve Superman that is now for sale here at Gods and Monsters.
True story.
See, now, unfortunately, though, they can only hear me because it's only coming through right there. They're not exactly. If we had your box, we could have turned the box up, and I could have just set the. See, we'll learn that for next
We'll
time.
figure it out.
So we're just doing a little web show here, and we're just doing a test. Hello from Function 2 Flair. Oh, okay. Now this is a friend
You could
I've
just get
never
the-
met
just get
before.
the cable.
But I was on vacation, and she's from Memphis, and she's moving to Atlanta, and
Oh,
she
what-
watched some of my periscopes, and she did a periscope with a bunch of horses running around in the field. And,
Would you
and
make
it's
that
just
little
like,
Periscope pen pal?
I made a Periscope pen pal.
Aw.
I was in the town of Dahlonega up in North Georgia, and they were giving away free samples of chocolate. And I just kind of walked past it. She's like, she types up, "Go get some of those free samples." So I went and I did, and right in front of the camera, just made a friend. That's technology for you,
Periscope is weird.
right there.
It
is
is.
weird.
It
It's
is real
like
weird.
live Twitter. It is very strange, but but people could pop questions up about Gods and Monsters, and we could answer them immediately with a 10-second delay.
Right on.
And the rest is history, she says. LOL. That's right. Oh, somebody else has joined. Lovin' the Tribe has joined us.
Lovin'
Not sure
the
from
Tribe.
where. Let us know where you're visiting us from.
Absolutely.
But technology is fantastic. I got 5 people right now. The only problem is it's very disheartening that you start with like 10 or 20 people, and then it drops to 3, 2, and 1, and then
Yeah.
you're like, okay,
When-
I'm just going to sign off now.
And,
When
No
they-
one's
when they-
watching.
and then you're alone.
When they
Yeah.
realize that we're not some 19-year-old girl
Right.
in her bedroom.
Right,
That's
right.
when they're like,
Major disappointment.
You know what? Never mind.
Right.
And even
Major-
when you are a girl, they ask you very weird questions like,
Yes.
Like what?
sing for us.
Sing.
Like I'll be in the middle of
Oh,
traffic
that's weird.
periscoping, and they're like, sing for us, and I'm like, what? I'm
You
driving.
said you were taking voice lessons.
I
That's
am,
true,
I am,
that's
but
true.
like,
But-
where did that come from?
But the
though?
craziest, I got another one that just joined. The craziest thing is just like you look at the map of the world. I clicked on Australia, and this guy had his phone in his car. You look like some sort of taxi driver or something. He just had it set up, and he's driving down the road. And I got a 10-second delay from Australia.
So wait a minute,
This
you
is
were watching
unbelievable.
where he was driving, or you were looking
I was
inside
watching
the car?
where he was driving, but then you double tap on it, and the camera switches back to him, and he's like, "Hello, I'm here in my taxi," and it's like, "Wow, that's amazing."
Wait a minute. You control the camera?
No, he does. He
Okay,
double
he
taps
does.
and controls it. No, I'm not
Because
controlling the camera.
that could
Weird.
be very weird.
Yeah, that could be
Yeah, that'd be real weird.
Well, so anybody that was following me while I'm on vacation, I'm back home now in Orlando, Florida, and we're here at the Artigan Marketplace at the Gods and Monsters store. I shouldn't say store. What do you like it to be called? Gods and Monsters? Just Gods and Monsters.
Just Gods and Monsters.
That's
yeah.
the same way I feel about whatever we're doing, web show. It's not the Gods and Monsters show. It's not the Gods and Monsters webcast. It's just Gods and Monsters. That's what we are here. So Periscope is working. We're competing right now. How many people do you have?
I have 5, and do you have a little stream of hearts going? Oh God, it's
Yes,
Valora!
yes. The hearts.
Hey, Valora!
See, look at she's got a friend that just popped up.
Yeah,
Oh man!
Valora and
Oh, I got
Captain
hearts.
Oh, hearts.
They're second-handed
hearts,
hearts
too.
though, because they only heard that you got them.
Right.
I got hearts. Yeah, I got a delay on the hearts.
I got
So-
pink and green ones.
Do I have to download Periscope?
You
now?
have to download Periscope.
Christ.
Just Mick Galvin 4N has just joined us. Thank you. I'm not sure where you're from, but let us know where you're from. He
Nice.
says
Yep,
hi.
yep.
And
Who are you? Where
I
are
got
you
another
from?
one. Oh, I'm up to
If
6
that's your
now.
real name.
Arbrit 44 has joined us. We're here. I am from Arkansas, he says. Very
yeah,
good.
Arkansas.
Very good.
Everyone's like, my connection blows.
Well, if you're ever in Orlando because you're doing the tourist thing, you came to go to the theme parks, come on over to the Artigan Marketplace.
Sure.
The second largest comic book store in the world is here. Can I say the world?
Well, what we've taken to saying, we're actually the technically third largest in the world.
Third
Wow.
largest in the world.
Second largest in the U.S.
Right.
But I've been telling people we're the largest store of our kind,
kind.
anywhere.
That's a very good way to put
Yeah,
it. The largest
because we
store
are.
of your kind
Yes.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because it's more than a comic store.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Way more.
It's not
That's
fair
right.
to just say comic book store. You're right.
Yep. We got the lounge. We got the retail aspect. We've got
No, not
the gallery.
Arkansas.
Thanks for coming by, Valora.
Not Arkansas.
Arkansas. Not Arkansas. I can
Valora,
never
we're
get it
gonna-
right.
I'm
Kansas.
going to invite Valora one
Kansas.
day on the show, too. Another hot nerd girl that I know. She's
Oh
cool.
man.
Oh
Hey.
no, no more nerd girls. No
Oh,
more hot nerd girls. No.
No,
If I had a
no.
nickel, gee
No.
whiz.
Sheesh.
I'm getting the hearts. I'm getting the love.
Oh, man,
So
so much
yeah,
love.
just one more way to reach viewers,
Yeah, that's
listeners,
cool.
people that want to
Yeah.
ask questions. We've got the Periscope, and
Oh, yeah,
you
Periscope.
know, it would be great to just have Periscope on a. Just
Yeah, we're gonna
just
perfect
permanently
that.
up here.
We'll perfect that for
Yeah,
future
man.
casts.
Perfect
No,
that.
that's cool.
I'll plug something in here so they can hear us.
Yep.
Yeah.
That way
Yeah.
they can ask questions. I mean, I bet there's a way we could do it today, but it's too
Periscoping a
late now.
podcast.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Yes.
cool.
What's the statue? Okay, very good question. Now, there was somebody that came into the store that said, I have this and I want to sell it. So he's selling this Christopher Reeve hot toy.
It's a hot
yeah,
toy.
the-
It's one of
And
hot
the
toys.
price
statue.
right now is $320. It is, it's gorgeous. I mean, just to look at it, it's like it is a miniature Christopher Reeve. You look at his face. Wish I could focus. Not sure if it focuses or not, but
Yeah,
it's
hot,
just.
Hot Toys is puts out some pretty impressive stuff. They always have.
You have a Loki over there behind the glass.
It's
Just
amazing,
Look
right?
at the eyes.
I
It's just-
know.
it's a fantastic.
They're really, really, really stellar with the likenesses.
Yeah,
and
so-
Christopher Reeve is a perfect example of that.
yeah.
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 I'm sure like all of us are when it comes to Superman, huge Christopher Reeve fans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And to see it continue on without him because he passed away.
Sure.
There was a sadness in the movie. You know, it kind of got the with the reviews, but there was a lot of love in that movie and appreciation
sure.
for Christopher
Yeah.
Reeve.
No, he represents kind of a generation.
Yes.
I think of comic fans. I think, and I'm certainly one of them.
Absolutely, I am as well.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, getting a question.
Oh.
Are you supposed to be interviewing them?
Are you supposed to?
No, we're just talking. We're talking about Periscope right
here-
now.
Yeah, we're enjoying Periscope.
Here's the problem. Yes, I am interviewing them, but it's kind of loud in here.
Hello.
And you can only hear my voice. But yes, I'm actually sitting here interviewing them.
I could scream if it.
Right. We will fix this so that we can plug something directly into this, and I'll plug the phone in because it's a battery killer, this Periscope.
Oh, is it?
But gotcha. So she understands now, yes.
We were on
So I'm
a road
interviewing
trip
them
and we did it.
for a web show. You'll find us on YouTube under Gods and Monsters. Now, there's a lot of things called Gods and Monsters on YouTube, so to be more specific, type in Gods and Monsters Orlando. You'll see it pop up here. We've got 16 or 17 episodes of whatever it is we've been doing here. Right, and we've still got 4 or 5 more for me to edit from the grand opening of
Sure.
people that we just I
Yeah.
haven't gotten to. I was on vacation, I edited one, and I'm out in the middle of nowhere, and I tried to upload to Facebook, and or YouTube said, your video will be uploaded in 5 days. So I was like, all right, I'll do it from home.
Dang.
So it was the episode with,
You are in the woods.
yeah, I was in the woods, and I was on vacation. So I just shot videos of the kids and I on vacation, just talking and telling me how their vacation was. I wanted to test the microphone going into the iPhone, and it worked really well.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so Mason ran through the rundown. You've got something going every day of the week from now on, forever.
Yep.
Forever.
Forever.
And then for me personally, I'm looking forward to December with Star Wars. Who knows what's going to happen here? We're going to come here with bean bags and sleeping bags, and
yeah.
we're going to have marathons here, I'm sure.
I'm betting there's going to be an interesting cosplay element that happens around Halloween time.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll just show up in my storm costume.
There's big things.
Okay.
There's big things coming at Halloween.
Wait,
We're not
which
allowed
one?
to talk about yet.
So much
Big
brewing.
things.
The good one?
Big things.
The good one.
Yeah,
Will any
the-
of those big things actually involve the Trans
The
Metropolitan
good one.
Art Gallery in any way?
They do.
Very good.
They do. Yes.
So it isn't going to be just about the holiday and the costumes. There's going to be something going on big at the art gallery for Halloween.
That's right. Obviously, we've got we'll have theme shows leading up to October, November.
Right.
But yeah, we've got something big in the works for October specifically. It's huge. It's kind of a game changer for us. It's really cool.
Well-
Is it Kevin Smith?
We can.
And that's how
and
you
that's
start
how
a
you
rumor.
play.
Man, I wish
Let's
it was
start a
Kevin
rumor.
Smith. I wish it was. That'd be just icing on the cake, right?
Kevin Smith, you want to come down and just,
Kevin,
help us out?
I'm sure you're listening to this.
Well,
We're really cool.
He's shown up to his own premieres, right? As a
he does Q&A on his movie premieres. He'll come and play the movie and then do a Q&A. I don't remember if he did the Enzian or not, but when he traveled with Red State, he was going city to city and just doing Q&As and showing the movie.
I got to see him live doing a Q&A out at Point Orlando, and right when we were
For Red State?
like
Or-
no,
or was
not
it
for
for
Red
just
State,
his-
but
his
this was
podcast?
this was just one of his little Q&As that he does.
Right.
But I got to actually mention the store to him, like it was a stand up and ask a question
Right.
kind of a thing, and that was the last question of the night, which was kind of
Good.
stressful.
It sticks in his mind.
And
Good.
I got up and I told him the kind of the story that his why not speech,
Yes.
which is amazing by the way if you haven't watched
Look
it.
that up on
it. It's
YouTube,
great.
yes.
Was kind of a like a galvanizing force to get this project going between Anna and I. That we're all why nots, and we like to surround ourselves with why not people. So I got to tell him that he was kind of the reason that all this was happening for us, and that I got to thank him, and he's like, so what are you making? I'm like, it's one of the biggest comic book stores in the world, and he's like, I want to go to that store. I'm like,
Hell
I
yes.
want you to go to that
We're
store.
going to keep him to that now.
That's why I brought you here today, Kevin Smith.
Well,
Um,
for one reason or another, I'm sure he'll be back here. I can imagine that Celebration is going to have a permanent home here in Orlando eventually. He was
Sure.
here at the last one. I went to his show at Celebration, and I'd love to ask him now because right at the time Celebration was going on, was that 2 years ago now here in Orlando?
Yeah.
Right around that time, Lucas was here, and so was Mark Hamill, so was Carrie Fisher. That was right around the time Disney was about to make that deal with him.
Oh yeah.
And I'm wondering if things were going on behind the scenes, like at Celebration, where it's like, hey, it's good to see you, and you, hey, we should get together. We got to talk about something that's happening here.
yeah.
We're going to make 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah,
But I'd love to have, of course, you'd love to have Kevin Smith here. We could just sit here and do this with him.
Dude,
and,
seriously,
and,
Kevin's
and
like the
he'd
man.
do it too.
he
He'd
could
sit
ask
down.
you the question that he asks on his TV show, Comic Book Man. Hey, Todd, what came in the store today? And you
Exactly.
can just start out with, well, we got the Superman here, and and just start the conversation from there.
By the way, anybody, and I know Crystal read it because I made her. Anybody who hasn't read the new Archie book, and I know that sounds.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's
Someone
like-
else brought that. Who mentioned Archie today?
Whoever
Is that
brought-
Mason?
Mason mentioned it,
Yeah.
and then I read it.
Man, what a book! It's so good. I'm the last person to care about Archie
Right.
or Riverdale or any of that stuff.
Right.
But in the last year or so, you've had that Afterlife with Archie, the zombie book,
Yeah.
come out, and then the
Predator?
first of all, Archie was doing a lot of really clever things, like with the Kevin Keller character and the the split universe thing that they did for a little while, where
Something with Predator also.
they've been playing around with it a lot, but to put Mark Waid and Fiona Staples on an Archie book and not expect me to just be like, "Boo," it's really good, and what's cool is it's still kid friendly. Like they didn't overblow it or over sexualize it.
My sister grew up with it. She loves it.
It reminds me a lot. Marvel did a book a couple years ago called Spider-Man Loves Mary Jane, and then the Mary Jane miniseries that Terry Moore did Strangers in Paradise. It reminds me a lot of the vibe of that, where it's just like, high school drama, and
Right.
it's really, really well handled.
Was it more to the point of view of Mary Jane, or was it just
It was
more focused on her?
those books were primarily like her in high school and dealing with this new crush in her life, and it was really good. You should check out both of them, but Archie's on the shelves right now.
I was about to ask, do you have that here? Is
I
Archie-
sold my last copy
Wow,
about
there you
a
go.
half hour ago. So
Damn it.
we've got restocks already on the way.
Well, by the time this episode is finally up on YouTube, because it's an hour and 45
That's right.
minutes, it's going to take me a while to edit it. You may have already been restocked with
That's
Archie.
right.
So
Yes.
come on in and check out
by
Archie.
the time you get things done, the trade will be out.
What are
So-
some of the things that are on the shelf now that maybe weren't here 2 weeks ago when I talked to you?
Sure.
Before I went on vacation. What are some of the newer things on the shelves?
Well, like I mentioned, we got the Jason Gorski collection and the Transformers and Hot Toys collection, which is frankly one of the most epic collections I've ever laid witness to. It's really, really amazing stuff. And Jason was always the type to collect only the highest quality pieces. Like if it had a scuff on it, he wouldn't even look at it twice. So this is complete in wonderful shape. A lot of third-party stuff, a lot of stuff that you're just not going to see anywhere else. A lot of one-of-a-kind pieces, because he was friends with a local customizer named Jared that we've got probably 30 of his custom pieces that Jason had commissioned over the years. He's given those to us to sell for him, and it's really spectacular work, like really amazing, like a lot of one-of-a-kind pieces. So yeah, between that and the Hot Toys, I took in a pretty decently sized Star Wars carded collection last week.
Did you say card?
A carded collection.
Oh, okay, carded. Okay.
Not cards, carded. The full run of the vintage collection stuff, not the 70s stuff, but the stuff where they emulated the card
Yes.
style. Yeah.
You posted those photos while I was on vacation also, and I'm like, I gotta get back. I'm missing this place. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. But stuff is rolling in. Of course, then we got the new shipment from Diamond. We got in some Entertainment Earth exclusives, some Breaking Bad figures, and some what else? We got the ambiguously gay duo.
Oh yeah.
Monitor mates.
You don't happen to have their
It's great.
car, do you?
What's that?
You don't happen to have their car, do you?
I don't. I would
Remember the
love,
car that they drove?
Of course, I remember the
Yes, yes, yes.
What are monitor mates? They sit right on top of your computer
Yeah, they're like
monitor?
it's like them flying. One of them clung to the back of the
yes,
other,
yes.
and it's for the top of your computer. It's pretty great.
I saw that last night after the store closed. I was like, I did not even know we had this.
Oh man,
Wow.
so good.
When I talked to you 2 weeks ago, I said one of the cool things now about the store, and maybe you can update me on this.
Sure.
One of the cool things about the store now is that it's starting to work for you. You're getting
Yeah.
the calls coming into you rather than you having to call out to ask for people or say things. Anything that's come up in the last 2 weeks where you've gotten calls like, hey, I have this, or hey, I dress up as this, or
Definitely. We've like Mason probably mentioned during his moment or two out here. We started doing the cosplayer modding nights, like
Yes.
the mod workshops, and yeah, a lot of people coming out, seeing what we're doing with those and with the space over here. They've been coming to us, want to put on birthday parties or do their special events here. We've got a guy that did I don't have too much info on it, but he's doing a steampunk movie that he wants to premiere here,
Oh,
like bring
movie.
all his friends and family.
yeah,
and
you may have mentioned that before. It's a great idea having
Yeah.
movie premieres here.
Sure, we're talking to Orlando Weekly about hosting It's a film festival
Yes,
here.
yes,
so-
do that.
We were
do
just
that.
talking. We were just
Do
talking
that.
with Greg about being
Yeah,
involved
man.
with film festivals here. So
Yeah,
yes,
I would love to do that. Sure.
great idea. Get the people to sit up here and watch it on the
Well,
giant
sure.
screen.
Yeah, we've been talking to local schools about hosting, art for some of the local schools,
Oh,
right?
my
Wouldn't that be
daughter
cool?
would love that.
Yeah,
She
man.
draws Gravity Falls characters all the time.
Oh, we just got
She loves that.
we just got all. Anna finally gets to watch it. We got all of them. We got all of them to
episodes?
watch. Yeah.
Gravity Falls on Disney XD. People, you got to watch this
Hell
show.
yeah, man.
If you grew up watching the X Files or Twin Peaks, you
It's
and
so
your kids
good.
are gonna love this show.
It's such a weird little show, and we love it.
I follow Alex Hirsch on Periscope also, so whenever he
Oh,
comes out, he's
God.
going to let us
What
know
is going
when the
on?
next episode finally
Dude.
airs. He said the next episode that airs is going to run 30 minutes commercial free, apparently.
Oh,
so
yeah?
it's getting that popular where they've
Fantastic.
got like one sponsor and they're just going to run 30
Well,
minutes commercial free.
It's cool to see it kind of getting a little bit of a following.
Yes.
Because so often, like with like Tron Legacy.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
Bring that back.
you
really,
like, what was the cartoon?
seriously.
Tron, the cartoon that ran on-
Uprising. That's what
Uprising.
I meant.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. You've got a show that was so well put together
Yes.
and so engaging
And
then-
mature,
and-
but
right, and you get 2 seasons
approachable.
and then you're
Yeah.
done.
Well, I think we only got one season,
One
of
season.
Tron
One
Uprising.
we only
season.
got one.
Yep.
We only got
Yeah,
one.
we got one, and
it
we
seemed
got
like so much more.
Yeah, it's disappointing because
Yeah.
it was, and I mean, I remember the trailers
was-
for Tron Uprising on the Blu-ray for the movie Tron, and it still took a year. I mean, they
Yeah.
they had to see if the movie was going to do well, which
Yep.
it did. Can't understand why there's not going to be another.
Yeah.
But the cartoon was great. You can find it on Netflix now, I believe, the entire series.
And it's well worth your time. It's
Absolutely.
great. But it's nice to see Gravity Falls getting something of a cult following because
Yes.
that gives us a better chance of seeing more over time. Because I would really like, God, if they were to take that off like before, 'cause there's so many interweaving.
Right, and it's building to something.
I know,
And
something huge.
My
and
daughter is crazy for that show. She knows
man.
every episode and the titles of them, and she knows all the characters.
Don't
And
make us finish this with fan fiction, guys.
I know. Don't
Seriously.
Don't do to our
It'll go-
kids what you've done to us so many
It'll
times.
go to weird places.
Right.
I've seen what kids are doing already with it. So
But that show for her, that is her Twin Peaks. That is
here's
her
my
X Files.
But my new one. Here's my new one, and I mentioned this
You
to you
mentioned
guys.
it before.
Yes. Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty on
I am
Hulu.
I am the last guy in the world to see this show, and it is incredible.
It was so good. I bought the season from Amazon.
Wow.
so
okay.
good.
Now
It's so
available on
funny.
Hulu. You said correct.
All
No,
right.
It is.
Now Greg's got to look it
It's
up.
on
Each
Hulu.
time.
I'm gonna write
Yeah.
it down so I can go watch
Yeah,
it tonight.
Your
I think
lights
it's
on.
R-I-K and Morty.
Yeah,
but I'm not
M-O-R-T-I.
going to say anything about
All
it.
right. Any
Just-
voices that we would know?
Yeah, it's actually Dan Harmon who does Community.
Oh yeah. He
yeah,
created Community.
It's him and what is it? Star. What's it?
Starburns.
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 Yes.
Starburns
The sideburns
from
on his face.
Community.
From Community.
Yeah, he was a writer. I think he's a writer.
It's them doing a cartoon.
Starburns.
And it's weird and kind of dirty and so it's not for kids. So don't
Right.
I wouldn't throw
please
your
don't
kids
show it to
into
your children.
But
Excellent.
man, it's good.
All
It's
right.
so clever and funny, and you got to watch it.
I've described it as it's basically what every smart person wants to do to dumb
Sure.
people.
All right. Yeah. Who are some of the voices? You've got Sarah. Is it Chalky? Sarah Chalky from Scrubs, the main girl
Oh,
from
I
Scrubs.
Sarah
loved
Clark?
her. Yeah.
What's her name? Yeah.
Yeah, she plays the mom.
She played the second daughter on Roseanne after remember the one daughter left and then she took her place
I
for
didn't
a
know that.
season or
Yeah.
two.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
she was on Scrubs. Great show, Scrubs. Yeah.
But she-
Okay.
but yeah,
well,
she's
until
on
season
it,
6,
and,
and then this was awful.
But yeah, they've got
Okay,
a lot.
so
They've
good.
got a lot of guest stars. Yeah, but yeah, definitely watch. I've also been watching a lot of Bob's Burgers recently. Which,
You know
which
what?
is
Gotta love Bob's
That
Burgers.
first season, it didn't take off, but that's I don't know. It's
I
starting to
think
get a
it's-
big buzz
it's
now.
very clever.
Very
I think
well
it's
done.
hysterical.
It's very clever.
And you know, tying everything together, Kevin Bacon wise, the voice of one of the kids on Bob's Burger is also the voice of Mabel on Gravity Falls,
yeah.
and is also
Kristen
the,
Shaw, we love
Kristen
her.
Shaw, who is also on The Last Man on Earth,
Yeah.
which that's a separate
she's great.
podcast.
We got to get her on the show, man.
Yeah,
That'd be
she's
amazing.
the best. My daughter would freak if she saw
Oh,
her in
dude,
person. I
she's
think.
she's the coolest.
Well, we've been going an hour and 52 minutes. For those, maybe we'll end it with this. For those who only showed up for the grand opening, Todd, what would you say to those people on get them to come back now? What could they see now they didn't
Wow.
see?
Well, it's not nearly as crowded. There's more walking room.
Room to breathe.
Yeah, room to breathe. No, I think I first of all, anybody who did show up, thank you. That was amazing. What a turnout we had. At one point, we had filled up the entire mall parking lot, which I think is 6,700
cars.
spaces.
Think about that.
So yeah, it was nuts. So I'm sure not all of that was us, but I mean a lot of that. But come on,
True, Jurassic World was out at that time.
That's true.
However,
that's true.
either people went to that movie and came here, or came here and went to that movie.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, it was jam packed and it was spilling out into the mall all over. Like we were getting thanked from all of the vendors and all of the restaurants here. Everybody was like giving us free stuff the next day. Like, thank you so much.
Do that again. Do
Well,
that
people
again.
people were saying that it was the first day that they had made more than $2,000,
Right.
and I'm just like, wow, that's amazing. Like our success equaled their success,
Yes,
which
it
is
spilled
just
over.
amazing.
It spilled
so
over to
so thank you for coming in the first place, but we've got so much coming. Like what you saw the first day was just the surface. Like we've got like I said, beer and wine. We've got all the organized plays starting up. There's going to be something for everybody, I think, over time, and I'd love for you guys to come out and give us another shot.
Excellent. Now, where can people find you if they're not watching this? On YouTube. Obviously, they're watching it. Where else
Obviously,
can they find you?
the best place to find us is on Facebook. We put everything up on Facebook and on this YouTube channel.
Yes, Gods and Monsters YouTube channel, which you're probably watching right now, or somebody sent it to you. But find us on YouTube, Gods and Monsters, and the Facebook, the likes, the thumbs up. What am I trying to say? The people now
likes,
who watch,
yeah.
you get like 100 and something every week. It's just
Yeah,
growing.
man.
I think at the grand opening you were close to 3, but it's
Yeah.
over 5,000.
Yeah,
and
we're closing in on 6 really
See-
fast, so
see,
it's
that's
very
good.
very humbling.
That's
yeah.
if you're not in this building looking around, that's the headquarters is right there.
Yeah,
Go
man.
there and look for stuff.
Yeah, so, but yeah, new stuff coming all the time, new stock, new events, and really it's just us kind of finding our footing and evolving, evolving for you guys.
And
so.
I believe every Friday that we're here, the gaming center is going to grow and grow.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have to shout. It's going to be so loud in here.
Sure.
So we'll try and see you again next Friday.
Absolutely.
So we
Yeah.
can find you on Facebook. Queen Q, where can we find you on the
Oh
interwebs?
God, I don't think you want to. Give me a little bit. I'm gonna get something going, but I will be starting a Twitch TV soon. I'm also on another podcast by Glenn called 4GO for gamers only. Be sure to check that out.
You
I'm
gotta
on
get
there
him out
weekly as well.
here for this too. That's
Yeah,
Yeah, you were
Glenn,
saying you want to get him out here to sit with us.
Yeah, hey
Yeah.
Glenn, if you're watching this, you'll probably be on the next show.
And-
Yeah.
and that reminds me, by the way, you said that. I've spoken to either through Facebook or emails or seen in person podcasters that
Yes.
want to be a part of this, and I say
Definitely.
absolutely. We've discussed this before.
Sure.
Do you recall the game show from the 70s called Match Game?
Yeah.
I want to come out and have a segment where the 6 celebrities be just our podcasters.
Sure.
You grab 2 contestants who would win some sort of prize.
Yeah.
And we just play match game.
That'd
here.
be amazing.
And just get a way to get everybody involved. And when our podcasters
wanna play
are out
match
here,
game.
I want to play match
I
game
want
too.
to play right now.
I wanna
I'm
experience
going to
it
be
just
Gene
because.
Rayburn. I'll be the host. I'll come out with the long stick microphone. Oh
my God.
We'll do the question, and then ends with a blank, and then our podcasters will write their answers
It's a
down.
solid plan.
And we just get them to win some sort of prize or something like
Oh,
that. So
of
maybe
course.
we do
That'd
that,
be amazing.
whenever we can do that. But I would love to just bring back the game show format of
Put it together.
We'll
Let's
call
do it.
We'll just call it Gods and Blankers
You're gonna need a
It's
plaid
the worst
jacket.
name I've ever heard.
because the
All right.
show is all about blank. You'd ask a question and then blank. You have to fill in the blank.
Work on the name first.
Yeah,
all
that
right.
was-
We need a name for that. We can't call it Match Game because it's already been taken. We'll get back to you on that. But thank you. We will see you again next Friday. Thanks for watching all 1 hour and 56 minutes of this
2
YouTube
hours worth?
broadcast.
Wow.
Oh yeah, we
We
talked.
just
No
talked and
kidding.
we didn't stop. We had a lot to say. There's
Hell
a lot
yeah.
going on here.
See, I told you this stuff goes by quick.
We'll see you next week on Gods and Monsters.
Bye.
Bye.